India versus Uzbekistan, the second match of our World Cup. Yes, that's right. I said World Cup because the Asian Cup is our World Cup, and India under the cosh, having lost the first match. Igor Stimac, what will he pull out today? And Uzbekistan also, because Uzbekistan drew their first match against Syria, right? So both teams have something to play for, and you have to say that the loser in this match is almost done, Sandeep.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think you can see with the lineup, right? He's made more attacking changes. Thapa has come into midfield. Akash Mishra has come in at left back. And Nauram Mahesh, I think Chante is injured. So Mahesh has also come in. All interesting changes, all forward thinking changes. Looking to probably have a little bit more possession than what we did against Australia. But like you said, the first match result for Uzbekistan makes this a very, very important match for them. It's a can't lose match. So are we going to face a Uzbekistan side who are desperately going to go for the jugular? Maybe more so with that kind of intensity than if they had got some result in the first game. And for India, yeah, if you get a result here, then it's like a huge positive, right? Going into the last match with everything to play for.
All right, let me just share the screen. Uh, let me just share the match, the match lineup. Yes, yes. So Igor Stimac makes three changes. Um, Akash Mishra comes in for Subhashish Bose. That's a more attacking change, right? But that also mean that Beke Bao and Jingan Bao will be under tremendous pressure. You have uh, Nara Mesh Singh who's coming, right? So that's presumably because Changte picked up a knock. We know that. And Thapa in place of Tangri, who we thought did really well. But this might be to essentially break into their final third. And Sandeep, are you surprised? I'm not. I think this is pretty much what we're used to seeing India play for the last, I mean, for the last 10 odd years. This is pretty much, this will resemble more of two sixes and one eight. Thapal not obviously overcome it in midfield. He won't leave them high and dry. He'll probably hold back a little, but he gives you more of a passing range than Tangri, for example.
Yes, I think it's very expected. I really expected Thapa to come in.
Hmm.
Last match, Stimas did make comments like probably dealing with the height of Australia.
Hmm.
So this match, Thapa he allows. So like you remember, we had this conversation with Pradyum, and since
Hmm.
I am a huge supporter of Thapa, I like Thapa a lot.
Yeah.
He's able to do a lot of things really well, but nothing like he's a jack of all trades and master of none. He
Hmm.
can pass well. He can shoot from range. He
Hmm.
runs around. He puts in a lot of effort. He covers more than 13 kilometers. I think
Hmm.
Stimac told me this once in an interview, which I don't think got published, or maybe it was published in Event. But Thapa provides that legs, and now you have Suresh and Thapa who can cover that kind of distance with that kind of
Hmm.
intensity also.
Hmm.
So I think they are trying to. I don't know how much they are going to dominate the ball, but with
Hmm.
Thapa on, you have more chance. But I
Okay.
am a little surprised with Akash Mishra
Uh,
because whatever happens,
uh,
I thought you should always look to not concede more than go forth and get a goal. So,
Absolutely. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm not in favor of this because I mean Post did pretty much everything he could. One of the goals did come from his side. The second goal did come, but that was also because I
but the
mean,
far post was defensive lapse there was also.
the far post was absolute defensive lapse there. Came in from Boss came in from behind. Was it Udanta? Was it?
No, no, not Vedanta. I think it
It was
was
it was Manveer. It was Manveer. It was
Manvir. Yeah,
Manveer.
yeah.
It was Manveer. Came in from behind Manveer and slotted in.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I'm I'm also going to share his comments because it's interesting to read them. He said it's a huge match for us. The first game was an experience for the boys. Now we face another difficult match. Uzbekistan competitive side. They did not gain a victory in their last game. We expect them to put a lot of pressure. We expect them to put a lot of pressure on us. He said this and he put out this lineup, which means the man is also going for it. He's pretty much realized that you can't leave it solely on the last match against Syria. You have to go for it this match, which is great, which is actually great. We've, I mean, we have progressed at least mentality wise, I'd say, right?
Yeah, yeah. We
Uh,
progress as far as playing also. I don't think we sit back.
uh we
Um,
have, but one thing again worried me against Australia. Um, we could not cross the half line. We expect that chance, right? We could not, we could not make any inroads. We could not cross the half line, and that's a bit worrisome for me, right? Because uh, essentially the three that were put out in the match there were put out to essentially nullify the Australian midfield and put out fires. Yes,
yeah.
but what happened as a result is that our combinations in the middle, our play in the middle, it suffered. So, uh, Shante, most of all to died to a Shante as a long out ball, but Sunil barely got touch on the ball. Manveer barely got touch on the ball because there was no one to play to them,
But I
right?
think you can't. I mean, Australia is probably the most difficult team apart from Japan, South Korea, or in that bracket, right? So when
Australia
you
were,
play against them, I don't have a
Australia were,
problem when you're
that's
just
what I'm
trying to
saying.
sit back and escape with
That's
a
what I'm
draw.
saying. Australia were incredibly well organized. Australia were incredibly
But so
well
was
organized.
India until
Yeah.
we got tired in the
So,
second
so
half.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying Australia, when they were pressing, right? When they were pressing, they left no spaces whatsoever. Like they, and Jackson Irvine was a monster. I think he alone took the game away from, apart from the first goal, obviously, right? But he dictated the play and tempo. He took it out out of India's hands after the first 15 minutes. He dictated it solely. So I mean, I guess it's another 10-15 years before we get a player like that. But uh, essentially, Thapa is bought in so that he can be a conductor. Can he weave his magic? Can he dictate play against Uzbekistan? And Uzbekistan
I,
won't be
I
easy.
I don't see Thapa being that guy.
Yeah. No,
Thapa
that's
is
fine.
most likely a felicitator than an actual conductor. I think if anybody is probably Apuya who's going to be a conductor, if at all.
If at all.
But again, I think today also we'll have our fair share of defending, more than
More
fair
than.
share of defending.
More than.
But I do think we will get on the ball a lot more than against Australia also.
Okay.
So yeah, but again, I will not look at anything attacking wise against Australia as a positive or a negative because I don't
Okay.
think there was an awful lot that they were trying to do. Also, first
No,
45
fair enough.
minutes defensively, I think India did as much as possible. They defended a lot of shots. They blocked it.
Fair enough.
Gurpreet was good.
But also, and we had this debate in the last time also that even when we went 1-0 down, there wasn't really any intent. It was more damage limit. I get the pragmatism because uh, essentially the best third place teams go through, so goal difference matters a lot. I get it, right? So 2-0 was a good result, right? It could have been more. I mean, let's
Yeah.
not kid ourselves also. No, let's be very pragmatic about it, right? Australia struggled to play through the center. The center was locked down, and I think that's a huge plus, right? Um, if I look at football, a game which starts from one end of it, it seems like we're finally all of the pieces at one end are at least coming together. We are becoming a more harder team to break down. So that's a positive, right? Previously at this level, we were open defensively and inept attacking wise. So we are becoming much more harder to break down.
Yeah, yeah, you could. I agree with you. I
Okay.
think we are becoming harder to beat as a unit. Like earlier, we used to 2011. We basically just sat back, right? The whole time we sat back and
We we
we
sat
had
back, but we scored three goals against top quality opposition when the gulf was much more wider. Also,
Yeah, yeah. What now I'm saying is we are able to defend and then sometimes sort of hold possession. Like even though when you watch the games, let's say the SAF Cup games against Lebanon and Kuwait, decent tests as far as your levels are concerned. And
uh,
when you're watching them live, there were times when the opponent sort of overran India. But India always found a way to sort of come back and get their foothold in the game, which I thought
huh,
was great because they didn't break.
yeah.
They weathered the storm and then they got hold of the game.
So we've come to a point where we won't have any control against a team like Lebanon or Kuwait, to a point where against a tier 2 Asian nation like a Lebanon or Kuwait, we can expect, let's say, we can expect some amount of stakes in the control battle. Possibly 30% of time or 35% of time we have control in these matches, right? Which is the positive, right? You're hoping Uzbekistan is closer to these sides than an Australia, but we know Uzbekistan. This is an old foe, right? It's not new. Like we know Uzbekistan, so we know they're going to be tough. Like they against Syria also, they control the match. Watch that match. They were very poor, and that's essentially the problem for most Asian sides not playing in the World Cup, but that are better than India. They struggle to essentially break down opposition. For example, China. China's not as bad as the scorelines making them out to be. They had 2-0, right? China.
Yeah, but China, I mean, I didn't see the game. I saw only the highlights, and they didn't really offer anything in that game.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the problem for everybody. And coaches will also tell you this. The India's best coaches will also tell you this. The problem always lies in the final third. How do we? Because that is the fastest area, or there is a zone where you have to take the fastest decisions, right? So very few people apart from a Japan, very few countries apart from Japan have that know-how currently. Even in Australia, right, they struggled against to break down India, right? Because we sat so deep, and we didn't give them any space. So
Australia, I think they didn't. They brought on some of their better players in the second half.
yeah, later, yeah,
So
that's also there.
that makes
That
a
is
difference.
also there. They uh, they played it tactically. They expected that they would do it with some of their second stringers. When it didn't happen, so they had to bring on their first team. And yeah, I mean, they also, what they also achieved by doing that is essentially they kept them fresher for the games, for the later games. So, but
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
huge
good
compliment.
display.
It's a huge compliment to us that they had to bring them on. I would say I'll give this to Team India. I'll give this to Blue Tigers. It's a huge compliment that they had to finally bring them on, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
They had, they
I
had
mean,
to
they
bring
would
them
have
on.
saved them. I mean, maybe play it last 10 minutes or something at best, just to keep
Ah,
them fit for
or
people.
they may not have played them at all.
Yeah,
Also, right?
the fact that they brought them on after halftime, even 60, 70 minutes in, means 1-0 was not enough. Even Australia was thinking, right, 1-0 is a dangerous thing. One penalty or one free kick, it might change. We need to shore up the game and, if possible, get as much goal difference as possible, like probably possible out there. So,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I'm just watching the highlights of Jordan and Malaysia,
Hmm.
and you can see the level of goals that they score.
Hmm.
Jordan,
Yeah,
they're not
agreed.
like up there as the premier level of Asian
Hmm.
team either, but
Hmm.
the kind of performance they put up and rolled out. Malaysia is actually not a bad team.
Hmm.
India had a tough task of it playing against them, so
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Seems like a intriguing matchup. I think last 5 times we played against Uzbekistan, we have not won.
Last
So
6 times. Six
six.
times we played. Yeah,
Okay.
6 times we played. We not won. I just want to go through Stimach's this thing also, and just before that, just the Asian Cup, right? It's
Can
been
I ask
fantastic.
one thing before you talk about this?
Yeah.
Why bring a player who's not playing in the game for pre-match press conference? You got Sahal, he has not played. Yesterday, I think it was Amrinder, and he is also not playing. What is like, what is this?
I think it solves a dual purpose probably, and this is probably me reading too much into it. One is that
If you are trying to fool people thinking Gurpreet
he
is not
keeps the
starting
opponent
this game,
guessing. Yeah, he
I
keeps the
mean that
opponent guessing.
nobody was guessing second guessing this. I think everybody would be like Gurpreet won't.
Ha, no, no. Probably, I mean, we also, everybody guessed that Amrinder won't start, but uh, who knows? Who knows?
But
Maybe the
then why
opposite.
Sahal in the first game?
It The second point is also that it it makes them feel like they've been part of the journey, right? Even though, like I said, both Amrinder and Sahal, in all probability, where I think it's touch and go for the last game, but it's probably not a good idea to rush a player back, right? Because the World Cup qualifiers are still there.
No, I mean I'm okay when Sahal at the end of the day playing
Uh,
Asian Cup is a huge nothing for him. You never know what happens in 4 years. So if he can play half an hour also, I would be like, play. Just play because I
uh,
think it's important
I
for
think
him because he's going to
I
be a major player, right, for us for a long time. We need that experience.
no, so that's what I'm saying. I think that he'd play the next Asian Cup, but like I said, that no, I won't as a coach, I won't risk his injury. To be honest, if because I know that we are short of creativity, so Stimac, the fact that he's not putting Sahal in, it
So
means
don't
that
put him now,
yeah,
not in today's game, but
huh.
the third game maybe.
So that's what I'm saying. I think Stimac is also being very very cautious because, um, and sat down. I thought about it. Even though these three games are important, I'd love to see India play those 10 games, man, against the best in the
Yeah, but
continent.
let's not count chickens
Our
that have
chickens
been
before the
hatched.
hatch. No, no, I'm not. I'm not. But what we did is we struck a significant blow on match day one. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
There is
because
this. Everybody keeps talking about World Cup third round,
uh,
but we still have to beat Afghanistan. Is not an easy game.
no,
We have to go away against Qatar.
which is
I mean,
very
if we had gotten something in that match, no, after
mm.
our win against,
Yeah, we'd have been like very comfortable, right? We'd have been
yeah,
very
now
comfortable.
it's
Yeah,
a
no,
little
no.
more harder. Afghanistan also. I mean, last time we played, we didn't beat them. I think we drew
The
both the games.
assumption, the assumption is that Qatar essentially do a clean sweep of the group, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh, including Kuwait also, but we never know. Kuwait get a point here and there against Qatar, and that's it. I mean, but uh, but we are playing Kuwait at home, so
hmm.
we can if we can
You
replicate,
need to get something from that game.
we need to get something from that game for sure,
And
right?
Sharath Hanif has said, why would you want to put up a player who's 50% fit when 110% players can match up the intensity? It's a correct this thing. I mean, I agree with
Yeah.
that also.
Hmm.
But like in case he does put up Sahal, I'm sort of okay with it because it's. I mean, I always look at it from World
Hmm.
Cups, Asian Cups, and all this. For us, Asian Cup is a World Cup, right?
Hmm.
It's for most players, it's once in a lifetime. We
Hmm.
have Gurpreet who's played three, of which
Hmm.
one he was sitting on the bench
Hmm.
in 2011. If
Hmm.
you look at the team transitions, even from
Hmm.
2019 to 2024 now,
Hmm.
it's there is a lot of change. So a lot of them will not get another chance.
Hmm.
And for someone like Sahel who has played such a huge role for India in
Hmm.
the last few years,
Hmm.
if he gets 5 minutes also at the end of the game, I think I will not be like, oh my God, Sahel should not have played. I would be like, okay,
Hmm.
he got his chance. Because there's so many of them who will come and you look at players who never played the Asia Cup or the World Cup or Euros. You used to look at someone like Roy Keane or somebody who missed out on so many chances. He played one World
Hmm.
Cup. Ryan Giggs
Hmm.
never played. So there are
Hmm.
always these players who are, and it's like the Olympics, the world. These tournaments are so difficult because it's once in 4 years, and
Hmm.
nobody wants to miss it,
Hmm.
even if just entering for some time. But my fundamental question was, if no, why keep bringing players who are not going to be in the starting 11? If the idea, like you said, is to make them feel like they are part of the team, I guess that's fair. But
No.
if you think there are some mind games going on, I think
No, no,
every
no, no.
anything can aram se
I think
skip.
I think every country has an analyst, or at least at the Asian Cup, of the 24 teams that are the Asian Cup, every country has an analyst who's that smart enough to know that Gurpreet Singh Sandhu's played uh, at least 19 of India's last 20 matches. So,
And
and
he has played the big games.
he played the game always. but still, that Qatar game, it
Yeah,
befuddled
I
me.
mean, come on. I mean, that was,
I'm
I don't
not.
know what. I
Yeah,
mean, there was a lot
let's
of
not say
questions
let's
and
not go into
abuses
let's not
thrown
go
at
into
Kamarander and
conspiracy
all.
theories, because we can sit here all night and make conspiracy theories, but that was the weirdest shit ever,
That was
right?
a weird selection.
That
I don't.
was the weirdest thing ever. Like, and
I
I've
wonder if
seen
that match was somewhere else, what would have maybe.
that was the weirdest selection ever, and I've seen, no offense to that player, I've seen Sainaj Singh turn out for India, right? So I'm not going to.
Sainach for a time was a player, dude. Like, let's not forget. He was
I
limited
mean,
as he may be. He was good at
I'm
what he
I
did.
mean I mean then I have to say that, and I'm what am I'm sure of it. Then those were the dark days of Indian football. I'm sorry if you're saying Sainaj was a national team
I
player.
mean, player for his time. Like, we can't.
that, that was a
I mean,
dark
there
day.
are so many, right?
Huh,
I remember, I mean,
huh,
since we are just talking now,
huh.
I remember, do you remember Harmanjot Kabra of East Bengal?
He was fantastic.
He was an outstanding player. ISL
Yeah,
when he
he was
won with
fantastic.
Chennai,
Yeah,
center defensive midfielder, proper
yeah,
leader
yeah.
who carried everything on his shoulder. Fantastic.
Mm.
But subsequently, when he shifted towards right back, I think he lost out on that chance. He has not played
Mm.
much, no, for India.
Mm. No, very
Hmm.
rarely, rarely, right? Mm. Syria were able to create some chances against the Aussies, and we can't really bet on India
Absolutely.
taking all 3 points. Yeah, of course we can't,
Absolutely.
which is why he's not waiting till the last game, right? Thapa does make late runs into the box. Yes, and he did score against Thailand. Remember, he has it, right
He
in this
can,
lineup.
but I just hope,
Where's the,
I wish he did it more at club
in this
level
lineup,
also.
where's the creativity gonna come from? Has to be the triumvirate of Thapa, Mahesh,
Mahesh.
and Sunil.
It's Mahesh.
Thapa, Mahesh, and Sunil, right? And let's not discount Apuya. I'm not discounting Apuya,
But he'll be
right?
more withdrawn, right? So he might be the one who sets up the assist
Uh,
rather than
Agree
the
with
assist.
Aga, the final third part, last night Tajiks. Yeah, I think most Asian
Okay,
nations.
can you put our images properly?
Yes,
There's no
yes,
point in
yes, yes,
screen
yes,
sharing
yes.
now.
I'm just finishing up with this. We do have a look at this. Look at this comment. He says we do have a couple of players with some issues after the Australia game, and we saw that Uzbekistan dominated Syria with 65% possession and had many shots on goal, but Syria also physical side and earned a 4-4-2. So he stresses on the fact that Syria are a physical side, right? Played a 4-4-2 formation with strong counter attacks, right? What we are looking for are more attack-minded players. We also saw Australia, instead of just clearing the ball, we could find the flanks. We did that in the first half. There was no intent to do the same in the second. He's got it bang on here. There was no intent to do that in the second, because in the first half they found Changte over and over and over again. Right in the second half, he's right, man. Stimac might just be making sense again. If that happens, they will keep coming, and you keep getting tired. Bang on. This is why you should not clear the ball, right? Because every time you clear the ball, they have a counter in 10 seconds. You're just under constant bombardment, right? So, and that's just my philosophy as a coach. I'm a nobody as a coach, right? But this is just my philosophy. But yeah, okay.
But lot of our clearances against Australia were desperate clearances.
Second
So
half especially.
yeah, so
Second half
then I
especially.
can't really, I won't really look at it as a negative thing. They were just sort of hacking it away.
Yeah.
But first
While
half, they did try to play out.
yeah, no, 100% Sharan. And in matches like Uzbekistan, right?
No, we did.
e-
I spoke about this
Even
comment
even
already.
even even 100% may not be, even 100% may not be enough. Sometimes you have to go beyond what you can do.
So
Thoughts on dev sports? Absolutely,
I have
absolutely.
no thoughts about this at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero. Like,
Just
I mean, my
give me a
God.
second. There's somebody at the door. Continue, please.
Yeah, I really don't have any thought about this. This has been going on for a while, I think. Last time also I saw something like this. Sharadas again mentioned making them feel part of the team is the only logical explanation regarding playing mind games. I don't think the most of our opponents make it a real difference. Yes, I agree. Sharad, yeah, it's probably just trying to make them feel part of the team. But as a journalist, what you generally want to when you're in a pre-match situation, you often want to talk to the player who is likely to play. So so that there is something to talk about, and all those kind of things. Not to say that someone like Amrinder or Sahil in the first game cannot give some insights, but it is just something like as journalists we tend to look into. And yeah, when there were times even before, even Constantine, I think bought once or twice, but I think they got injured in the last minute or something like that. I
Hmm.
think Roland Borges came
Hmm.
one time when
Hmm.
it was unlikely. He had a head injury or something. He played with a head injury one game, and we
Midfield play 3-6-1. It's probably an iteration of that only. It's probably an iteration of that only. So there's no like I said, formations are just the starting point. That's what we said in right last time around. So
Can I
yeah,
just say this again? It is absolutely criminal that we don't have a preview or a halftime or a post show on TV. I mean, it's
I
great
think
for us.
I think
It's
it's good
great
for
for us.
injury time. Yeah, it's good for injury
But
time.
it's criminal. I mean, for those people who are not listening to injury time, like
Huh. Hmm.
this is, I
No,
mean,
it's
come on,
okay.
man. This
It's
is
okay.
really.
They get the best of commentary, right? Today's VR match official Omar Alali. So Sandeep, quickly predictions.
I am not doing predictions, dude. I always go very
Yeah,
negative in my
yeah.
mind so that I feel great
So,
when the prediction is
there's
good.
Katanets, the Uzbek coach, and he said we are not under pressure. We are not.
That
That's
means
what he
he is
said.
under pressure.
That's what.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
that's what it means.
Uh, the the lineup that the TV puts out is a 4-4-1-1, but we know that that just there for the official
Suraj Pujari,
broadcasters.
thank you so much.
Uh,
Thank you. Listen
right?
to us only. There's nothing much you will gain from that
मैं
commentary.
commentary म्यूट करके तुमको सुन रहा हूँ. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. And we did a Reddit AMA yesterday. Do check it out, right? Um, and true to our natures, I was the more I was more outspoken, and Sandeep was the more optimistic one. But that's the nature of who we are
But
in
that
this
is
show.
our role.
That's our roles.
Yeah.
I'm the fervent critic, and Sandeep is the optimist. So yeah, you know. But
Bharatwaj, geopolitics as the ref is Chinese. No, I don't think so. Bharadraj's question.
that's it's too
Ge-
much, guys. It's too much.
yeah, geopolitics. Because especially now with VAR and all, you can't really get away with making daft
Yeah.
decisions. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just.
The referee is the referee's name is
I mean,
Fuming. So if India score, he will actually be fuming. But I'm kidding. No. But it's the Tigers versus the Wolves, guys.
oh,
The
are they
White
called the
Wolves.
Wolves?
Yeah, they call the White Wolves. The White Wolves versus the Blue Tigers. Can't wait. Every time I keep looking at Apuya, I thank stars that somebody filled that form for him. So
And the match is kicked off. First
yes,
itself, we hit a very long ball
yes.
aimlessly. But
Okay.
that I think most teams do that long ball thing. I
Talk
really
about
don't know why. A lot of the
talk about
teams tend to.
setting the tone for the match, right? Talk about setting the tone for the match. Like,
Yeah, but I'm sure. I always remember this. Now I always
uh,
tell the story about
so-
the one
so-
team against Constantine.
uh,
What is your
somebody, sorry.
hey, take Suraj SO7J's question.
Uh,
Obsession. What is the
yeah,
obsession of
right.
cameraman to show players? I'll tell you what it is. I have worked in PCR rooms in
Mm,
live telecast.
mm,
So there is a director who
mm,
will have all the how many ever cameras you have, he'll have the visuals. So the
mm,
idea, especially in cricket and stuff like that, there's a lot of downtime, right?
mm,
Between balls, so people are walking around this four, sixes, whatever.
mm,
So you can sort of see the director's eye when you watch it.
mm,
Some of them are all like showing pretty women on the stands or all those kind of stuff.
mm,
Some of them are more about the cricket itself, so they're showing the bowler walking back or looking at the captain making adjustments. So you can see personalities of certain directors from this. It's a tidbit that you pick up when you are in PCR rooms.
mm.
No, PCR rooms. PCR is a room only. So, yeah.
Uh, One thing right off the bat, right? Uzbekistan are
They're
not
pressing.
sitting back.
They're
They're
pressing.
not sitting back, but so
But they are
here, right?
pressing fairly high
No,
up.
no, what? So what? No, what happened here was that Gurpreet could have immediately switched it. He took a couple of seconds, and they were on to India in a flash, right? So I think, and I can see the spaces. There are spaces, right? He could have right there. He could have played it to Thapa in the middle, right? But he opted to go long. That's because he saw Manveer probably going at the opposition fullback. You're going to find more spaces against Uzbekistan, right? Who are
Yeah.
themselves not playing it out of the back, who are themselves looking to find the man on the flank,
So
right?
Sharat's, to answer the question, the first kick is often long diagonal because they'll overload one side and then hit the
Ah,
long ball. If you win the
ah,
header, great. But if
ah,
you don't, you press really high and win the second ball so
ah.
that you can start possession up.
But it's
That is
it's
the
not
idea.
all. Sorry, it's not always a long diagonal. It's
Lot
not
of
that.
teams do hit the long diagonals starting. Other than like
Hmm,
these Guardiola teams and all.
hmm.
Even Premier League, you often see first is a long.
I think a proportion of that has reduced over the years. I don't
Yeah.
think it's as high as it used to be.
But
Yeah.
even if a less technical team often does that because they are
Yes.
hoping to
Yes.
win the second ball
Yes.
and get on to that side quickly. But it often fails. So there is also that question about why do we keep doing this also?
Mm. There you have like Jingan with a Jingan clearance there, right?
But I can't blame him. He is very
Yeah.
close to the player.
Yeah.
It's a good tackle.
Uh, but this is where essentially India need to step it up because the moment Uzbekistan, oh, that's a goal. That's gone.
Wow, wow.
That's
I mean, I was just thinking there the line is too deep.
no. I
Probably
I
could
could
have pushed
I,
out
I,
a little
I could
bit high.
I could see them. I could see them switching up the pace, and I was just going to say,
That guy is a really short guy too who scored the header.
This is Fazulev, and I think Indian football fans, Mumbai City fans, do you remember? If I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken, the same Navbahar guy.
Good night, bye. Yeah, look,
Yeah,
if you see this, this is my personal view. I think a coach might differ, but they
uh,
dropped a lot. The center halves dropped
yeah,
really deep, and that
yeah.
allowed this a cross to the edge of the area
No,
to
and
cause all this damage, and then you
Jingan's
push
ball
up
watching.
when
Jingan's ball watching there. He loses his man
Messi
completely.
lost his man,
He
and
lost his man.
Gurpreet, unfortunately, there's nothing he can do.
No, no, I don't blame Gurpreet at all.
Yeah,
I don't blame Gurpreet at all because Mishra, Jingan, Peke, they're all watching.
yeah.
Faisal is alive in the ball. He's alive, and he slots it in. Right? Now, Baur only the
Now you have
GKs.
a mountain to climb.
Yeah, yeah, and this is exactly what you didn't want, right?
Yeah,
This is
early goal.
exactly what we didn't want, right?
And see the fans are on their feet. Now you always think Indian fans will
Uh,
outnumber them, but then
no.
once they are in full voice, obviously there
Huh.
is that pressure also.
Huh. But tell me, Sandeep, this Fazullah we saw in one match, right? Vape Singh is not. He's not from Navbar. Was he part of Nasaf? Because I don't know.
Oh,
He
look
just
at that guy! Look, did you see that touch?
yeah, I did.
The
It
long
was
diagonal was a great diagonal, and he touched it with his.
he just killed it. He just killed it
That's too much.
dead.
I don't remember if he was with NASA, but
Okay.
I don't generally remember a lot of the
Uh,
players' names.
but I remember Nasaf had a 19-year-old who destroyed Mohan Bagan, right?
Yeah,
Who
NASA that was 60 70 or something, right?
6-0,
60.
6-0.
I think 60 is the place where that mercy
Huh.
comes in. No,
And
60
that
people
is
will be like, okay, now.
and that is Mrs. Chingan there because before anybody asks, that is Mrs. Chingan there. But yeah, this is now an uphill battle, and 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 what do we do from here? Do we
I
start
mean, so
playing?
far we have not been able to keep the ball because they have been pressing really hard. Hopefully, after 20 minutes, we'll be able to keep the ball a little bit better.
Hmm.
But till then, you're just going to be under the cosh if And look, I
Hmm.
mean, I always look at a team with their ability to hit diagonals and the
Okay.
ability for the player to control the diagonal. Man, that was fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
So easy on the eye.
Yeah.
Like the greatest diagonal is, crossfield passes this guy, right?
Hmm.
Marcelo.
Oh, no, that touch I think we've seen time
Yeah,
and again. Yeah.
that's the
But
greatest
see,
crossfield this
but,
thing I've ever
but
seen.
this is what I'm talking about, right? From the throw, I don't know if you saw what happened. One guy made a
Mhm.
diagonal run. He pulled the guy with him, right? And then the defense just parted like the Red Sea, right? For like I should say like a blue sea, but essentially everyone was caught ball watching, and that guy received the ball in the middle very, very easily, right? And these are the small things. These are small things that irk you as a coach, right? Again, like I said, I don't want to emphasize that I've done anything, right? But these are small things that I notice, and they irk me personally. Your opinion might be different, but just the ability to stay alive on the ball, right? And even off the ball, right? It,
I mean, we saw it in against Australia. They were all very much alive. I think
no,
this
Manveer
one.
again. It was Manveer who missed his press at times, right? And thus, so and this guy says the web says we fucking scored against South Korea and Bahrain in 2011. I know we did, and I know we say that this
They
team is
were
better.
one. They were not. One was low XG goal. What do you say? That Rennedy's great shot. It is
Yeah,
actually his goal.
yeah,
but, but
yeah.
Sunil ended up scoring that. Abhishek Yadav missed a sitter, and then Sunil ended up scoring the tap in.
Abhishek Yadav. Okay, okay. Let's
But
not speak.
but still, yeah, we
Yeah.
did score against it. Maybe we will score against these guys also.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we'll always keep talking about the great Thailand win.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that pass, dude! Like
See,
that back
I know,
heel.
and
He's
look at
so
how
aware,
he.
and that's a winger.
Oh
He is so aware that
no! Look at how he instant first touch, right? Instant
yeah,
first touch. He takes Pujari out of the game with
and
his
he's
first touch.
alive. Like you get the
Uh,
back heel, he nips in front of the defender
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
He's
The
already aware
defenders
that this is what I have to do, and we are
the
just taking
defender
that half
sitting
a
and
second.
watching the defender sitting and watching the ball coming to him.
Hmm.
He just he just traps it, right? Mishra, for example, right? Mishra is ahead of when the ball's starting to get played in that region, right? But but the player gets in front of him. He gets the ball.
It's the right back, it's Nikhil, right? Not Vishwa.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that touch. I'm talking about a different touch where the player is actually able to get a touch in the box, kill it, and then take a shot away. This is the amount of time he has.
Hmm.
So uh,
See, look at that cross again. It crossed to the edge of the area. Nobody
all
marked.
doing same
Nobody
proposition
picked him
again,
up,
another
and
way to
then it
say
was just a matter of guiding it away from Gurpreet
into different.
far enough so that
Hmm.
Gurpreet can't catch the ball,
Oh,
and then the striker
yeah,
finished. This is
and
actually a good finish. Gurpreet
this is
was
where India have to be
wonderful.
careful because they have a set piece, right?
See, again, I think they are
Whoa, whoa,
on the edge of the
whoa,
6 yard box, man.
whoa! That I hope you've seen the free kick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But,
dude.
but after you did whoa, whoa, whoa. So,
Yeah, okay.
like 3 seconds after you did all that.
Okay,
Whoa,
okay.
whoa, whoa.
I should probably be more restrained,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Let me make the big call so that both of us have seen it. This is some jugaad that you have done that always you get the fastest read. I don't know why.
Uh, yeah. Talking about
Maybe
touches and
because you're closer to closer to the
closer to Qatar.
yeah. We told one of our friends' brother one time, just
Hmm,
fooling around.
hmm,
We told him, so there was power up until the building before us because they had a
hmm,
generator and our building didn't have. So he was
hmm.
wondering why, and I said because there is not enough power for the electricity to come uphill. Only till that level it has the power to come. Now they are doing. He believed it for a while.
Yeah.
And this is when he was in his 20s, okay? Not like
Hmm,
this, we are all small children.
hmm.
Yeah, Bharadwaj, you're absolutely right. Our Orko is always ahead of us. and ruins all the things for us with his reactions.
I'm sorry.
That's a good out ball. Oh, hey, come on.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Essentially, there are three blue shirts around the ball, right? But the Uzbeki left back comes
Who's the-
steaming in. He comes steaming in to essentially, what do you say, touch the ball, right? And kicks off another attack.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, yeah. That was a.
uh,
Who's the European lad with around a million followers live tweeting?
hmm, European lad, around a million. I have an idea.
I have no idea.
Uh, okay. The waves. Why don't you just inform our people? Is it lack of
Aditya,
big match experience against better AFC teams affecting a situation? Having said that, we put in a good shift against Iraq. It's not. You can't just improve by playing better opposition, right? That's just one part of it. But essentially, you can't you can't teach myelination. You can't teach decision making, right? You can't this this for example, Apuya had a terrible decision there, or was it Beke? Right, because he almost lost the ball there, and you can see Thapa looking for Manveer.
again, that was see again a bad touch from Manveer, but
Manveer, huh.
can't. I mean, what do you do? I mean, it is not the easiest ball to control, but
Look,
still, I mean,
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to not say that Indian players do not have the ability to kill that ball. It's just that he didn't think that far through ahead. He didn't think
yeah.
that this is how I'm going to win the duel against my winger, right?
See, there is, I mean, for the people who may not know, your
Huh,
first touch is your most important weapon.
huh,
If you look at any top midfielder, let's you go look at a compilation of Busquets or Pirlo or Zidane. Their first touch is always towards space. Their
hmm,
body will be between the ball and the defender.
huh,
So that you have to learn.
hmm.
There are videos of how to do that. You know, people are always looking over the shoulder
No, correct,
to
correct.
see
But
where they
but
are.
but Sandeep,
If you
you can't
watch
teach
it,
that to, huh?
yeah, if you
Busquets,
watch the game,
huh,
only Apuya is the one who constantly checks his shoulder,
huh.
which is why his first touch is the
So
best in
good.
the. I would say the best in the whole team.
Yeah, yeah. But but you can't. Busquets didn't learn that at 18 also.
No, no,
Busquets,
you have to learn naturally. I mean,
yeah.
not naturally. You have to teach it when you are really young.
Busquets learned that. He's probably done that a million
Yeah,
times, right?
and the
Uh,
top players, they look over their shoulder. There was a
Shoulder, yeah.
stats. I think they do around
Uh,
40 times in a minute or something. A midfielder, they are
uh,
turning their
about
heads.
40. The best players in the world, I think, do about do a scan
Yeah, they
almost
keep
every
and
second.
you see these
Huh,
videos of midfielders. They're always looking now. Now, if you see when India's on possession, see what the midfielders are doing. How many of them are looking over their shoulders or looking to the side just to
huh.
see where the players are, etc.
India's
They will
3%
all
of
look, but they won't look as frequently.
huh. No, see, he got the ball nicked off him
Yeah.
almost
See,
because
because he's not aware the player is coming from behind. And it's easy
huh,
for me to sit here and say because I can see it from a
huh,
bigger ring. But as a player, that's something that you have to do because it happens in your local games also. Sometimes you don't look
huh,
back, the guy is taking in going away.
huh.
Nice.
Nice.
Look at how nice their interlinking passes are, right?
Uzbekistan,
You
right?
see, right now, nobody's aware of the ball, who's coming to the ball.
Huh.
Nikhil and Suresh, they were both looking at each other to figure out who's going to take that ball.
Yeah. Manveer
So
can't play
that's
that first time because he
yeah.
doesn't know.
That
Manveer
touch
can't.
to Manveer was very good,
Huh.
but we lost that immediately. That pass should have gone
I
forward.
yeah, I think Manveer could have played first time, but he had no idea of what to do. Right?
Even now, when you look at it, look at how often Apuya is checking, how often Suresh and how often other players are checking. You can just see.
That's cheeky by Thapa. But yeah, he gets it back. And
Yeah.
see, Apuya immediately releases the ball because he knows. He knows. He can see. right?
So when Prad first
Uh,
time told me about this boy, Apuya,
hmm,
some 4 or 5 years ago, during the first COVID season, I
hmm,
think bubble, that's when he first told me about, or maybe it's the season before. He
hmm,
said, look up for this player," and the first thing he said was, "That guy keeps looking over his shoulder.
hmm,
He's going to be a star midfielder because he knows
hmm.
what he's doing there."
100% Sharad. You can learn, but you can't execute at this pace something else. That comes only with time and
Oh,
space.
come on! And look at the first touch from
Oh,
number 22 again. Oh,
that's
oh, fuck, goal.
no, that's Mishra Bhai. Good
And
night.
if you see the first touch from 22, took it
Uh,
across the defender
yeah,
and at pace. So he knew exactly what he was doing.
hmm.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
then we
This could
messed up.
get messy.
Dude, that number 22 is quite a player, man. I quite like him.
Yeah, yeah, superb. I wonder if all of the Uzbekis are on as much money as our peeps. Look,
See, again, look at the
that's
first touch.
atrocious by Beke. No, but that's atrocious by
Yeah,
Beke.
look,
I'm
you
sorry.
see that first touch
Yeah, I saw
against
the
the
first touch.
defender.
I saw it first touch, but
No, I
essentially
was
Beke.
telling if people are not watching because that replay came to me at that time. His first
But
touch
Beke,
against the defender. That's it.
but Beke puts it on a plate, right? Beke puts it on a plate
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That was a defensive error, and even Mishra, that was a very awkward clearance because it could
uh,
have gone anywhere. It could have gone in.
uh,
Yeah, but I guess there's not much he can do
hmm.
at that point. I guess he has to
Come on,
stretch.
Manveer, you should stop the ball. Look, I agree, Sharad. That's probably where it starts, right? But essentially, that's a terrible decision by Rahul Bheke there to to play that ball there. And the waves Nikhil out with Mehtab in with Bheke at right back, please. No thanks. The waves. I would still say Nikhil's more suited
Agree.
to that role than Mehtab is.
First
And
20 minutes, this is a worse performance than Australia.
yeah, 100%. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they were all really pumped up for Australia, and this one maybe not as much. I mean, not to say they were not pumped up. I'm like, you take Australia with this thing that we can't let them score.
Ah.
Maybe there's a little bit more optimism in this game.
Mumbai City boys making all the noise. Our players overconfident that they held against, thing which is hurting us badly. Not overconfident. I think there have been a couple of terrible decisions in defense, right, which have led to this.
Mm,
Hmm.
okay.
Look, if you want to tell the pedigree of a team, just look at the people who are playing along its spine. Automatically, you'll get to find the difference between your team and the quality of that team,
He
right?
was
And
offside.
so far, the Uzbekis playing in the spine of their team are just too good. Again, Jackson Irvine, guys. That guy, I know he looked like a 70s hero, but that guy was just so ice cold there in the middle. He did not let anybody, I mean, anybody.
Naveen is sitting and commenting. Hey, come on the live, man.
Yeah. Hmm. No, Naveen's probably eating biscuits as we speak. So,
No, he is doing the hockey
yeah.
thing.
No, I was joking with the biscuits part of
I
it.
forgot that hockey was good.
Uh, and look, even if a Uzbeki player loses the ball in the middle, right? The other player is immediately switched on. That he just the game is over. The game's over, right? And Apuya winning a couple of
So
fouls, but
yeah, again because he steals the ball immediately
Hmm.
and then turns around,
Hmm.
and because he knows that the guy is running at him,
Yeah,
he wins a
that's
lot of
smart.
such free kicks.
That's smart.
Hey, come on, man!
You have Thapa who's dropped way
He's,
deep to try and conduct play.
Tapa's way up front. No?
Because oh sorry, that's Suresh.
Tapa's yeah,
Sorry,
very
that's
super.
Suresh. Suresh who's dropped way deep
See
to try and
again,
conduct.
that pass from Suresh that went wide should have gone to Tapa. Tapa was calling for it, and it was a forward pass.
Yeah. Oh, Chhetri has a sniff, like just a small
Oh,
sniff.
oh, oh. Okay, but at least I think India's playing
Yeah.
slightly better. You're holding the
Now
lead.
India's come out and said now we want to play now.
Yeah,
Now
now
we
we
have to.
can't
Now
let
we
this
can't
happen.
sit back. Yeah. That's
And
that's
also,
that's
I
that's
am
good.
always afraid when people backpass and are not really looking. Really scared.
No, but Apuya, man, like you have Apuya playing there,
See,
like
Papa's turn was great. Opened the
right?
body, turned.
Yeah.
See, that's the quality that he brings, which I think is often underappreciated. Not many will do that here.
Uh,
Okay. Sad just that's. Oh, still he passed it off. Okay, Suresh gets a free kick.
yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see now India's gone like, okay, we can't do this. We have to keep the ball and we have to start playing and try to do something.
Hmm. With Syria only losing 1-0, maybe if you can read the game better, you could little slower and still be a better player. Sharad says 100%, Sharad. 100%. You can do
Yeah.
that. You need speed of thought. You can. There are slow players
I
who've
mean, look at
dominated
the great midfielders of the
who
last 10 years.
dominated
No,
the game. Yeah,
Scholes
they've
is
got,
not fast. Pirlo's
yeah.
not fast. Busquets not fast.
Thomas
Rodri is
Mueller.
not fast.
If you look,
Yeah,
if you
Muller's
read
not
Das
fast.
reboot, if you read Das reboot, they say what the Honigstein says that the first time he went to see Mueller and the first time he went to meet Louis Van Gaal, Van Gaal told him this guy can't pass. He's not fast. He can't cross. I have no idea what he can do, but he does the job for me, and that's just
Mhm.
football intelligence right there. You don't need to be an athlete. You don't. You can read the game and you can do better. You can. But the thing is, and I spoke to an I spoke to an ISL. Busquets is frail and slow. He's not frail, but yeah, he's gone. He's not
He's
hit the
slow.
gym
He's
types.
slow. There's no denying
Yeah,
that
he's
he's slow.
slow, but he's not frail types. But what a player! Yeah, he might just be the greatest number six ever. I'm not kidding,
Yeah,
because
he probably is.
he probably
Of
is
that,
the greatest.
no, I would always say Pirlo just because he's got the swag.
Yeah,
But Busquets
but
is right.
but Busquets, yeah, what he's done is incredible, right? So, and I spoke to an ISL, yeah, the CEO, right? He was dismayed. He said, "We'll always be going for the physical beasts because that is the low hanging fruit, right? We will not. We are not producing intelligent players. We are not, right? Right now, it's just Apuya, right? It's just Apuya, and Apuya is the only one who's been able to match up to the pace of this game. You look at his movement, right? You look at his movement. He's it's perfect. It's perfect. Right? He knows where to be at. At what point in time. Like he has that awareness. But I cannot say that for a lot of people on this pitch, right? And what's the point of picking on such? I'm going to tell you this because there is one player on this pitch who we have constant disagreements about. What's the point of picking physical beasts if at crucial junctures they switch off or they're just not alive? What's the point? There is really no point anymore.
I think that FC go as midfield, no? Ayush Chhetri. It's
I was Dev Chetri.
quite good, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I will not hype any of these people up. Let them do it and then we'll give
Yeah.
the
Well,
credit. All Jay Guptas, all of them can play for 2 years and see how good they
Jay
are.
Gupta, by all accounts, is merely that. He's just a physical beast. That's it. He has a long way to go, according to folks inside at the club, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? They've
He's got a
specifically
lot of things to
they've
learn.
specifically told me he don't hype this guy up. Do not, because he's just starting out, right? So
I
I
mean,
know we
also
discussed.
things like you look at someone like Nemil, who had a
Hmm,
great performance in Durand Cup, and
hmm,
somebody who we kept hearing about, right? As a youngster, that he is one of the best ones coming up. Subsequently, has really not done anything. Yes, injuries didn't help and all that, but there is that problem. Oh,
hmm.
Akars is at the games.
Hmm. Mumbai should send more players this season. Maybe.
But look, there have been so many. Shankar Sampangiraj has gone to Italy. Udanta has gone to Oxford.
Hmm.
There are Ashik was in Villarreal, I think.
Hmm.
There are many players who have gone to Spain, to England, to Italy, to wherever. But at the end of the day, they are only there for 2 months. Whatever they learn is absolutely great, but then
Hmm.
they have to implement it here day in day out. That is the thing. And Apuya always was this good.
Huh.
He was always a very good player. From that, if you look at somebody had mentioned about the 2017 batch, you
Hmm.
look at the 2017 batch. It's Anwar Ali and it's Apuya, two standouts. The captain of the under 17 team does not play anymore. Suresh is another one who plays, but we know the kind of player he is. He is not the most creative player.
Hmm.
You goalkeeper does not play anymore. He went to Scotland and this and that.
Hmm.
Who are the other ones? Abhishek,
An-
you know,
Anwar
what is
Ali.
that?
It's only Anwar Ali.
And
Abhishek
Apuya.
Hal. The
Just two.
Abhijit Sarkar
There
probably
was a
not.
Canadian goalkeeper who has since vanished from the earth.
Sunny Dhaliwal.
Yeah.
That's part of Indian football's great overseas.
The person who missed out because of that was Mohammad Nawaz.
Huh. Udanta went to
Komal
same.
Thattel, Jeekson, yes. Jeekson, I think, has come good now.
Huh.
Komal Thattel, again, he's a hit and miss. He's able to do some things sometimes, but
Huh.
but there is limitations there. Yeah, Udanta went to this Oxford, I think, because I think at the time Ashley's friend was Michael Appleton, and
Huh.
Appleton was in Oxford. This is what I
Hmm.
remember. I might be wrong with the club, but I think it was Oxford. Ashley worked as Michael Appleton's assistant
Hmm.
in Blackburn Rovers, I think. So
I
yeah,
think so.
so we had a free kick and Akash Mishra glanced it just right.
Glenn,
Actually, not a bad jump at all.
but these are all stints. Like nothing. Nothing comes of these stints, right?
Hey, run faster, da. What is this? Okay, shielded it away. Any thoughts about any youngster who has impressed from I League this season? The striker from Aizol, I keep forgetting his name.
Lalrinzuala, Lalbikliana.
Yes,
That's his
yes,
name.
he has been fantastic.
I
I
think
think
he's
he
in the
could have
market.
he could have been someone who they could have just looked
I
at.
think
Not
he's in the
because,
market. If I remember correctly, he's in the market.
yeah, yeah, they're always in the market. But
So
the
look
sad
at that.
thing, sad reality of Indian football is that I
Uh,
League strikers moving up to ISL often
uh, look
they
look at
don't
look
get
at
a chance or they don't play well if they do get a chance.
look at that bit of play, right? Thapa lays it off to Pujari, but who's not on the same wavelength at all, right?
Hmm.
And they end up losing the ball.
Wingers are not making forward runs at all.
Yeah,
But then they can't make it. There's no point because they'll go offside. I think
I think.
Navaran Mahesh is a very talented player.
Hmm,
I know he's not been involved much, obviously, but
hmm,
generally, as a rule of thumb, I think he's very,
hmm,
very talented.
hmm. Vidyasagar Singh also disappeared, right?
Yeah, there's so many. Falguni came after being the best player as a midfielder in Trau, and
Hmm,
then didn't do. But he went to ATK, I mean, 80K at that time, which is
hmm.
really not a great place for a young player. Sumit Rathi, I think, is still with ATK, right? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you might start seeing him more, maybe because now Abbas has come.
Uh, Abbas preferred Rati, yes.
So there is that. Who else? Even Chencho, who had a great season, came to ISL, didn't really do much. Two stints in ISL, both times didn't really do much. You can see Luka Majan now. He's okay, but maybe not the best at the ISL level. He's very good in the I League level. Nestor Gordillo, who started all the problems for Hyderabad
Uh-huh.
FC. That transfer
Hmm.
it started all the problems for them. He also was not that good. Did Pedro Manzi also get into ISL? No, right?
No, no, no. I League. I think
Yeah.
I League two. Hmm.
Who was the other? Even now, you look at Irfan Yadwad. He's playing out
Hmm.
wide
Hmm.
a lot of the time,
Hmm.
but he's still showing some signs of life. But you
Hmm.
wonder if he had played in I League for
League.
another season,
Ah.
what he could have done. Because I saw him a lot, dude. Like last year, a lot. That boy has got a nose for goals, and he scores all types also.
You know
Headers,
who else has a nose for goals? Number 22.
yeah.
Hmm. How does the MOU between Saudi FA? I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's how the MOU.
But generally, on a grander scheme, Saudi is actually getting the World Cup and stuff, right? If you look
The
at
way
what they have done,
the
they have
waves a
managed
very
to. Huh?
optimistic person. The waves a very optimistic person. Go on, go on.
No, they have managed to have tie-ups with a lot of countries. A lot of countries in
Hmm.
Africa. I think with most of the countries in Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, FIFA is about gaining votes,
Ah.
and more votes they get, the better they are. So MOU is going to help them in a political situation also. And it's helping India also in some sense that we might be able to play a few games over there, maybe a couple of games with their national team, age groups, all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But largely political, I would think. And this is not a criticism. I don't have any problem. I think whatever I am okay with countries outside Europe getting all these bigger tournaments. I'm very, very happy with that.
Hmm.
I know Europe's people are not very happy. Really. Okay.
But doesn't matter, right? Whoever
No, I
gets
think
in.
I think if it's a global sport, it has to go global, man. You
Yeah.
can't just keep saying the best facilities are here and we are advanced as a civilization. No, that doesn't work. You
Hmm.
play everywhere. Oh, what a brilliant pass and
Hmm.
great save by Gurpreet. He had to be alive. But number 22 again off the shoulder, the pass was
Hmm.
brilliant. They make it look so easy, man. Sometimes.
Right.
And
Number 22 plays. Number 22 plays for CSK Moscow.
Sir, in the
Oh, no, no. Manveer. So number 22 plays for CSK Moscow. That's
Jaska
prob-
Moscow. Oh shit.
yeah, yeah,
So he's that level talented then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Number 10, the captain plays for a Greek club, Panserekos.
Hmm.
Um, the midfielder number 7 plays for a Turkish club. And remember, the Turkish league is pretty strong. Number 25, Kusanov plays for RC Lens.
Is
He's
that cool?
2000. He's
I
2004 born.
Tursanov. I know Tursanov. Not
No,
the
Kusanov.
not the Kazakhstan Tursanov.
Kusanov.
Oh, okay.
Kusanov. Num Kusanov is 2004 born. Faizulev number 22 is 2003 born.
Hmm.
Wow. Like 22 and
20
25.
years. 20 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
21. 21, I guess.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And
22 is
this is the
no,
funniest thing
no,
is their under 20 is also fantastic. That generation
no.
also coming up.
Number 22 is just 20 and number 25 is 19.
Hmm. So they must have played Kafa.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
Kafa when they
no,
played,
no,
I
no,
think a
no.
lot of their players were in the under 17 in the World Cup, under 20 World Cup.
You mean Kafa under 20? No. Like most developed nations.
No, they were a lot of them were playing in the World Cup.
No, once these guys get into the national team, they're not going to play for the under
No,
20
what I'm
sides.
saying is a lot of their better players were
Ah,
actually playing in the World Cup. That was not
okay.
their best team also that they put
No,
up.
that wasn't. No, that wasn't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're not. So
They played one more tournament there, no? I feel like there's one more.
no.
So is the game not on TV?
Apparently, a lot of people have been complaining about
Yeah,
it.
I just got a message asking about the thing.
No.
With Mohammedan reinforcing themselves in the transfer window, maybe three clubs from Kolkata next season. Maybe.
Maybe, but don't rule out Mohammedan pulling off a Mohammedan.
Yeah. There is
So
also one more thing that while Mohammedan almost own goal but escaped. I mean, not
too
escaped.
much.
Uzbekistan escaped.
Hmm.
But yeah, Mohammedan, see, more than just winning, I think finances is also a major thing when you move to
Hmm.
ISL. There is a lot of that going on. And then when is the deal, ISL deal ending? Next year?
2024
Next
FSGL you
this
mean?
December, no?
FSGL you mean?
Yeah, the 10-year this thing.
Uh,
That is this December, right?
no.
2024 December, right?
By the way, did you notice Liston Colasso is not even on the bench?
Is he the one who was injured?
Maybe. Changte is on the bench. Liston Colasso is not on the bench. Wow. Okay. Changte we know is injured, right? There are two keepers. So Liston, Vikram Pratap, and Sahal are not.
I wonder why Liston is not there.
Uh,
I mean, unless he's injured.
but interesting fact about number 22 and 25, even and number 26 who's on the bench, even going by just paper ages, they are much young. They are younger. They are younger than even our youngest players on paper. So,
Can I just say that it feels like it should be a lot more than just 38 minutes,
huh, it does. It's
right?
because, yeah.
Who the heck leaks injury news beforehand? Why would the coach willingly allow? Generally, coaches do mention injuries, but there are
Hmm.
some coaches who keep it close to their chest also.
Hmm. Tapa
Sometimes.
shouting for free unmarked player decide to play it now. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
that's the problem, right? This is there were another time also when Thapa was free and he was
Ah,
asking for the ball and it
Acho
went wide.
Wala. Yeah.
I remember a story from playing in the sevens tournament back in Calicut, okay,
Hmm.
and I was playing center half midfield that types. There's no correct position right in sevens,
It's
and I
sevens,
remember
right?
passing to the player on the right. Well, there
Hmm.
was another player in the center that I could have passed to, and the abuse that I heard that day. That guy was a
Hmm.
senior. And then he dragged me off, and then
You
he
have
was shouting at me saying,
Suresh with a great pass there.
he dragged me out of the field, and then he
Uh,
was screaming at me saying, "You passed to the guy in the wing. He has only
hmm.
one pass. You pass to me in the center. I have two or three options.
Huh.
You think about how many options your passer has before you start passing." And
Smart.
yeah, that
People,
was the torrid abuse that I heard. That was insane.
people in sevens are smarter.
Yeah, he is very experienced hand, and I was in school at that time,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe just first year
Yeah.
college.
It's Manveer
Anyway, I was
again.
not very good also, to be fair.
As soon as we think we start switching play, oh man, Beck
He's
is playing
offside.
him
He's
onside.
offside.
That's terrible. That Beck is
He's
just
offside, right?
no. Beck is playing him onside. I think
Oh, I thought he went a little early.
Beck is playing him onside. I think.
Sandeep's life-changing moment, absolutely. The other
See,
one
see,
was
see,
getting
see,
smashed
see,
in
see Beck
seven.
is playing him onside. Beck is playing him
No,
onside.
he's trying to hold the line, but he is also
Huh.
smart. He took a second off.
Hmm. What are we doing? I don't know, Sharath. I don't know. I don't know.
So this leaking lineup is becoming a thing, is it? This is
It,
the second or third time that
no. It's the
I've heard.
under match. It's very regular. See, I
But
know for a
always
fact. I know for a fact that Constantine hated it.
he didn't. No,
Constantine,
no, my God, he was absolutely steadfast on all of these things,
yeah,
which rightfully so, to his
rightfully
great
so.
credit.
Hmm.
But if you are leaking lineup now, what are you trying to prove? You're giving the other team the lineup, or I mean, seriously, are you? If you are actually leaking the lineup, what the hell are
Hmm.
you really trying to prove here?
I don't know. I don't know. It's
Is
it's
it that
it's
this
it's
is the possible lineup, or is it the
it's
lineup
it's,
itself?
it's, it's favoritism. Not only is it favoritism, it's actually detrimental to the team, right?
It's
It's not.
detrimental to the team. It is against the rules. You you can get pulled up. I think if you keep leaking, you not keep leaking. If you leak
Yeah,
him
but
and you've
oh, that's
it's
a pen.
proven,
Okay.
that's a penalty. That is
No,
a
saved. Saved,
oh
I
okay,
think.
offside. Huh?
I'm not sure. How is it offside though? Was it offside? I don't know.
Why else would you do that?
I
He
think
was not leaning on the player, no?
he pulled him
Oh, he
first, I
pulled
think.
his shirt. Okay,
He pulled his shirt first, I think.
man,
But
that was close.
that was close, yeah. But India
I
again
mean,
also
possible lineup is one thing,
huh.
which I think a lot of people play with. I
Huh,
think that is very interesting.
that's fair.
If that
That's
is like, I don't know what this league lineup thing is, okay. But if it's a possible lineup, then I think
no no
it's
it's happening. It's happening obviously and because some cancer has spread from Indian cricket. Remember, Indian cricket's one of the biggest. Uh, I mean, there's no right word for it. Has come over to Indian football, and now they'd obviously it's a thing in cricket where they leak it all the time. So and now they're getting it. I think everybody who follows Indian football journalism knows who I'm talking about. But it's pretty brainless, and the journalists doing it unethical. But again, like I said, I mean, I don't have a blue tick or I don't have a this thing, so my word doesn't count. Nor do I give transfer news. So I get it, but for my 2 cents, this should not be happening. It's not. It's a terrible practice because you're putting the lineup out at a time where the opposition has a chance, right, to change their.
oh, what
Uh,
a great first touch. Is that Mahesh?
I think so. I think so. But even though we've controlled possession, even though Uzbekistan have dropped down a gear, we've not
Yeah, but
really.
they are 2-0 up. No, they don't need to run pillar to post.
We've not, but we've not offered anything in attack, right?
No. Just
You
couple
can
of that
space
final
something
third is the thing.
now.
When if I wish they show the replay of that, I think that was Mahesh who took a touch between two players, which
Hmm.
was fantastic to see. See, Apuya has won another free kick.
Hmm.
See, he's
Huh.
always he's putting his body before between the ball and the player.
Hmm.
He's very aware of where the press is coming from.
Huh. Some people in the comments asking me to just name. I'm not going to name because remember the defamation law still
Leaky defense is the leaky
hangs around
defense.
at as a loose. So oh, that's a great shot. Oh,
Oh, oh.
that's a great shot.
Who's the one who hit that shot? Thapa?
Mahesh, that's Mahesh.
Is it?
Mahesh the magician.
He's very skilled, man, technically, and
He's too good.
very, very good.
He's too
I
good.
remember Ashik once told me, he's like, that guy is unbelievable. Ashik Kurnian, that is. He was like, this
Ashik
guy.
told you that Mahesh is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching the Malaysia game with him,
Huh.
and then he was like, that guy is unbelievable.
Yeah. The Malaysia game was a tennis scoreline 5-3-6.
But there were some bad calls in that game, dude, honestly.
There were there were
Oh, another
half
Sunil Chhetri
chance,
with the header that went wide.
half
But
chance.
good to see India in the last 5 minutes have two shots, two good
Huh.
chances. I mean, half chance, but still good chances.
Huh. At least we won't go home not
Yeah,
scoring, not taking a shot, right?
yeah,
Naram's technique, yeah,
that was great. And
fantastic.
Sunil, to his credit, dude, like with
Sunil,
that, the amount of times he wins headers
it's crazy.
against superior, taller people, it's just
Huh. The
unbelievable.
number 25 place in League One, guys, and Sunil's going toe to toe. Like, forget anybody who tells you Sunil Chhetri scores against weak opposition.
Yeah,
Sunil
no, I
Chhetri,
mean, my God, he scored against everybody. I
Sunil
mean, we play
Chhetri's
at that
held,
level.
like Sunil Chhetri's done what Novi Kapadia and Baichung Bhutia did before him.
Movie Kapadia.
They have held Indian football together.
Oh,
I was making a comparison.
I
right?
mean, I wouldn't. Marcus did a lot. Demon Sarkar did a lot. So there were others also.
No, but uh, not a shade on Nobi, right?
I mean, for a South Indian, I always looked at Marcus because Goan football he did a lot more, right? And I
Huh.
used to look
But
at Dempo
but
as a big team at that time.
no, but you think about it. You think about it
But
now.
Novi, obviously, with commentary, he wrote a book, and
He wrote a book. No,
he was
he used to
often considered a journalist historian. So,
he used to write Durand Cup
hey,
every year journal.
going for the same ball.
Every year Durand Cup journal he used to publish. He used to write for the Asian Age. So he would cover
Yeah, yeah,
Asian
he did a
football,
lot. He did
Indian football
definitely.
fastidiously. At least we know if a Marcus stops writing, we have a Negi or we have other people who will cover, right? And right,
That is
no,
now, right?
huh? No, I'm saying
2008 to 10 and all. I used to always look at Marcus's.
Marcus. Yeah,
Because that was Dempo's heyday, that mid
that was
2000s.
yeah.
And you had Salgaonkar also who did really well. So
Who might be the substitutes? Uh, maybe
this
a
game, I really don't know, man.
maybe a boss comes on for Mishra, right? He did last match also. He bought in Mishra for a boss, right?
But I think we need people to go forward now. So maybe
A
not.
Brandon. Oh man! Oh, that's a goal.
Oh, that was so simple.
That is
I mean, you have three or four Indian defenders, and he just
yeah.
beats them all in the air, and then he gets the rebound also.
Yeah. No, but first the move starts on the left side of it, right? The move starts with the very
Done and
what
dusted. I think Akash going to watch the game was all the problem in the world.
no, Akash went to watch East Bengal also. You look
Uh,
at that, right? You look at that, and
it's such
Mishra
an
doesn't.
easy class, man.
Yeah,
Nobody was
Mishra
close.
doesn't. Mishra is
And
not tight enough at all.
number 9 is Manvir. He again switched off.
Yeah,
Switched off once, and then I mean
the
that
entire
rebound fell kindly to him. But
so the entire left side of it switches
I
off.
mean, this is
Right.
just
Yeah, this is just child's play.
yeah. Now I think we should yeah. Stimac is upset.
Just check on European lads comment section. I still don't know who they're
Who is
talking
this
about. I
European
think I
guy?
know. I think I know. But for Sandeep, maybe you guys want to make it clear who this European lad is because we are not that. Uh, oh, I think they might be talking about the same guy who was speaking shit about Dez.
I don't know.
Nobody's tracking the runners, man. Yeah, 100%, man. They're
Yeah,
sleeping.
it's-
Out of OOP, out of position, they're sleeping.
yeah. I mean, this is the second time. I mean, last game
Second
also
time,
the second goal was the same.
second time we've conceded a goal, and the umpteenth time we've switched off. Second time we're conceding a goal from such a
But
play
why is Manvir there?
because I think they've kind of switched flanks. So we saw Mahesh on this flank quite a lot also.
No,
They're
no, no. Why
they're
is Manvir in the position where a wing back or a right back should be?
that's it.
I
I
mean,
think
if
that's
at all,
exact.
there should be a midfielder that deep, right? Not your
So
winger.
so I think the idea is to play a 3-5-2. The idea is to play a 3-5-2.
Unless India win against Syria, we are well out of the. I think at this stage we are fairly
I think
out of
we
the
are.
tournament. They didn't even play the whole 5 minutes of injury time.
Hmm.
3-0 half time. Goals conceded 4 minutes, 21 minutes, and just before the break.
Hmm.
I mean, it looked like after 2-0, India was slowly coming in, but that third goal probably, yeah, I think that's it. This game has been fairly disappointing. Yeah, I expected a lot more. See my wife complaining about me to somebody.
It's crazy though, right?
Yeah, no, no. He just said I told her I'll eat before the stream, but I haven't eaten. So she's saying 6-0 incoming. Man, don't say such stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just going to blame Akarsh. So apparently this match is not. It's only on the app, not even DD.
that I think shows the interest of people in Indian football. Which is-
No, a lot of people are for the game, but man, Uzbekistan. But so apparently women's hockey is being shown. The South Africa T20 highlights in one, and yeah, they might be showing second half. It seems. What the hell? But like this is also the problem, right? You are playing such big game, and then nobody's really telecasting it. This is fairly sad. And halftime show is Mohan Bagan versus Mumbai. It's was the halftime match in the last one also. So at least a different match in this would have really that also. Yes. Okay, Stimac out at halftime. No man. We have 58% possession. Or do we? That seems a lot, right? This match resembles a 6-0 loss was UAE, though we did not have many first line players in that game. Fair enough. I actually don't remember that game. Oh, this is the game during the COVID lockdown, is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have watched Indian football for years that I can take anything. You reap what you sow. If you almost never play better quality opposing, you get caught out like this. There is some, I guess, there is some truth to that. But if you look at, say, since the COVID um, enforced lockdown all happened, we have played fairly few um, West Asian opponents. UAE was there and a couple of other ones, and then even SAF Cup we played Lebanon and Kuwait. Um, the difficulty for the most part is to get these big teams to come and play in India because they really don't get anything, right? Like UAE game that you mentioned 6-0, there was the commentator saying, why are we even playing this game? It's like we could have played another friendly game with our junior team or something because they really don't get anything. There's no FIFA points, much FIFA points up for grabs even. But there was a time when I thought so before the World Cup qualifier, we went and played Nepal, and then we slowly started playing slightly better and better and better oppositions. And I thought that was a great way for us for India to build up some head of steam, and culminated with the SAF games. Since then, we have played quite well in the qualifier. I know we lost against Qatar, but I thought that was not a bad performance per se. But yeah, subsequently, I think maybe we should have played some friendlies, at least behind closed doors. Like last time when Constantine went for the Asian Cup, I think they played two games, one of it against China behind closed doors. So yeah, the Jordan, UAE, Oman in friendly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't remember the names, but yeah, they should have played some games. Stimac would say that we are improving since we managed 58% possession in the first half. Yeah, I think there was a time, I don't know who was a coach, but there was a press release that came saying how all we have improved with our position, with our this thing, with that, this and that. But
Was it
whatever it
Bill?
was,
Was
no,
it
not
Bill?
Bill. It's either Constantine or early match time, where it was
Holistic
all
match.
about,
Holistic. It's holistic match.
yeah. And then I was like, what is the point of holding 50% possession against a team when you concede and lose? But yeah, there's always a spin. Stats are always a way to spin the narrative. Uzbeks always thrashing Indian clubs and now national team. We have not beaten them in 6 games. So I don't think this is. I mean, this is not. The scoreline is a surprise, but
Mm.
the India losing, not so much of a
When
surprise.
coach said we will attack more, was he talking about Uzbekistan? Probably.
See, that whole thing confused me. He said we will attack. Syria was a more physical team and all. Uzbekistan is a fairly physical team. And you're
Mm.
saying Australia was the most physical of them. I mean, I was a little confused about the whole thing.
Mm. Also, this this group, right? This is a group with potentially two World Cup qualifiers for 2026, right? Because there are eight slots. Uzbekistan have always been in and around that 8 to 12 wala bracket. And Sandeep, you can also correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
They have always been in and around 8 to 12. So you're
I
looking
don't know
at
exactly, but they have always been up there, constantly
always up
playing.
there.
Yeah.
Huh. And there, if I look at, they're on par with teams like Iraq, the ones just below the World Cup nations, right? So yeah, I think like it's it's difficult. It's difficult for India to play this game also. Like it's we always said it was difficult, and people asked us about the game also on Reddit, and you know what we told them. We said it's difficult. So that a lot of people had a hope saying that we might win against Uzbekistan, but we know we've seen Uzbekistan. We've seen them for a decade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan, I mean, they're quite a good team to watch also. They've
Huh.
always been a good team to watch.
Aditya Vijay Kumar, that is not necessarily true, right? Even if so, yes, you can play, and you can lose 8-0, 9-0, right? But doesn't mean that you'll improve, right? And you're only looking at that minuscule 15 or 16 people who played in that game, them having that experience, right? But what about the other thousands of people who need to improve to push these 15 or 16? Simply playing these nations won't help, right? Let's play against more tier 2 nations, play against more nations of the tier that you aspire to be. Currently, like I said, we are in a tier 3 with Bangladesh, with Afghanistan. There is no shame in it, which is exactly where we are, right? We
Yeah.
pulled off we pulled off a win against Kuwait, right? That was one of our best victories ever, right? But the margin of victory, or the what do you say, the manner of victory is also important. Hmm. Hmm. It
I
could
mean,
have
I
been.
look at since there was a question mentioned, right? I look at a country like Lebanon.
Hmm.
I had a recent last year. I wrote a story about football in Lebanon from speaking to Mohammed Kudu,
Hmm.
who a Lebanese player who was playing at that time for FCBU.
Huh.
And when then I had a conversation with somebody who wrote on Lebanon and stuff like that. That country, in some sense, first of all, there is a lot of unrest over the
Huh.
last few years. Mohammad Kudu himself, when he was a junior player in Nejme, which is one of their
Huh.
big teams,
Lisbon.
he there was an explosion right behind the training ground, which killed a couple of Nejme players.
Hmm.
And he was saying there they were his he was in the youth team. They were supposed to train at that time, and for some reason, last minute they changed the plan and the senior team trained.
Hmm.
So they could have been there just as easily. So
Hmm.
they are coming from such an environment with a league
Hmm.
that is not well run. It's extremely politically controlled and dominated, with a lot
Hmm.
of influential politicians holding league clubs between
Hmm.
the different. There's an ethnic. rivalry also there with Nejme and Ansar, and I think they recently started a team called Ahead, and all of them
Hmm.
playing in the center only, in the same place. So so many of these issues they have,
Hmm.
and when they come to play against India, and I was like, this team is still producing players and continuing to play football. That's the strength of the culture that they have. That even with all these problems, they can keep producing at that level.
Hmm.
So you look at Syria, it's the same. They had so many problems in the last, let's say, 10, 15 years. They came very close to a World Cup, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Lost out in
Sy-
the last
huh.
knockout playoff, actually.
Syria,
Yeah,
Syria,
yeah, yeah.
uh, Syria lost only on, what do you say?
Did they beat
Uh,
against Egypt? Is it they lost?
uh,
No.
no, to Australia.
To Australia. But the first leg they did well. Second leg or something like that, they were very close
So
to
they
qualifying.
were the sixth team in Asia, right?
Huh. Yeah, yeah,
And obviously they've regressed a bit. Obviously, look at the scenario in the
yeah.
country also, right?
It's the
Stats
same. Look,
without
even
context.
look at Iraq, right?
Ah,
Iraq is now, I think, the holders of the
hmm.
Gulf Cup
Ha,
currently,
ha,
and they have also had tough times in the last few years.
ha.
Not this immediately, but they've also had a lot of problems.
Hmm.
You will listen to stories from what was that defender, Harun Amiri, about
Haruna
Afghanistan,
Miri.
the situation
Hmm.
that he grew up in,
Hmm.
and they are actually playing at par with India.
Yeah. So India
So
very lucky to get that
they
draw
were lucky
also.
to get that draw,
Ha,
especially the draw in Kolkata,
ha.
which was celebrated like a win when they scored the equalizer. But after that, I spoke to what was his name, Adil Khan, and I
Ha.
said I was one of those people who were annoyed
Hmm.
when the celebration happened and instead of taking the ball and going back. And then he's like, "Bye!" Like I scored my first goal. I was very happy. It's like okay, I mean, yeah, I can understand his emotion also. He
Ha.
scored his first goal,
Ha.
saved a game for the national team, and also
Ha.
fair enough.
Stats without context in football is nothing. Play 10, 20 square balls in the defensive third. Your position stat would look good even if you're losing the 5 goals. Agreed. It
Absolutely,
means that there's no context to it. You know.
he should be
Uh,
like Ricky.
I think Syria is also in a bracket like Uzbekistan between 8 to 12. They were, they were,
We don't know now. So they've
they were
changed
not,
Syria. I
huh,
mean, like Uzbekistan
huh,
has made a change.
yeah. Syria just lost to Kyrgyz Republic, right? Which
Yeah, India
and
beat
remind,
Kyrgyz Republic, if you remember, thanks to a
but
wonder goal
but
from
but
Chhetri and
then
Vijay.
the Kyrgyz Republic team has evolved since then,
Hmm.
from what I understand, right?
Should have. Yeah, I mean, the thing
They
is, like
have
we do two
they,
steps, everybody else is doing three steps, right? So
three
while we
steps.
are also improving, the rest of the world is running ahead.
Uh, Kumar Reddy, Rahul Beke, Nikhil Pujar exposed, yes, but it's not just them. It's all four of the defense. Everyone's made a mistake. It was Sandesh switched off for the first goal.
What did Sandesh
Misra
do in the
was
first
not
leg?
an alive was not alive for the second goal. So it's not just these two. Like, and it's this is expected because of because the pace at which they're playing. And I also gives people a funny stat, right? Uzbekistan and rankings don't matter obviously, but Uzbekistan is 68, India is 102. So essentially, they're two-thirds of our ranking exactly, right? You look at multiple 34, but currently, it looks like there's a world's gap between us.
They are
And
passing around in a triangle
and,
in
and
our
did
final
you
third.
see that? Huh? Sandeep, did you see that rondo?
Yeah, I
Did you
know. They are
see?
passing around in the final third. Triangle, triangle, triangle. And that's it. In our
Yeah, I mean,
final third, not at half line, not in their half,
no,
in our final
no.
third, outside our
In
half.
our final third. In our final third. And you look at the goalkeeper's pass, like how calmly he just
Yeah.
passed it past Chhetri. Okay. Okay.
India's made a change, is it?
Sandeep, Sandeep's favorite player is here, right? I think it's Manveer.
Hmm. KP, I guess they brought him on for the speed. Huh?
No comment.
I mean, that is the only explanation, right? But anyway, Manveer was not
Huh.
having a good game. So if that is Manveer who was taken off, then
Mm,
fair enough.
mm. I
What is
think.
seen among the third tier football
I think.
nations, Vietnam are
I
breaking
think.
into tier two and the most enjoyable team to watch. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they're great to watch. They're slowly cementing their place in, not even breaking. They're slowly cementing their place in tier two.
yeah,
They're
absolutely.
getting those results. They push Japan. Like it's fantastic
Yeah,
to
they
watch.
went ahead right against Japan. For in the end,
Uh,
Japan came back, but
Sharat
Japan is
Rahul
now
wasn't
in
there.
the world level. They're beating
Mm.
Germany. They're beating European teams.
Ah,
So
ah.
yeah, but even then, Vietnam gave them a good game.
That was
Vietnam
very
has did the
enjoyable.
basics right. No, when you look at their
Ah.
what they've done, they've just been doing the basics right. They've under Asian Games they did really well a few years ago, and then they take the next step, and then they take the next step. They start playing better and better.
Mm.
They now have a striker who's scoring consistently, who's playing in the J League, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Hantin, I forgot his name, but
Huh.
J League or J2, and or some of the foreign league, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mm. You have Thai people who are
yeah, Song,
playing in
what is
Playing in
Songrasan?
Belgium. Playing in Belgium. You have Supanath Moentia.
Uh, so who was that number 10? Songrasan, no?
Congressman.
Yeah.
But don't forget Tirasil. What a
Tirasil, yeah.
fantastic player he
Tirasil has
is.
been fantastic for them for years now.
What a fantastic player.
He's
Right?
in J
So
League, no? Tirasil?
he was.
Oh, now he's.
He's finally, after a long time, he's moved back to
Hmm.
Thailand. Oh,
Why
he's
are
old
we,
also.
why are we fouling our own man?
Uh, he's he's 35. Uh,
There's a big
why are we
advantage for
falling
Asian teams.
on player? Because we're not seeing where the ball is going. We're just looking into a sky and running into each other. It's very big advantage of ASEAN teams. Are understanding. It's not.
No,
It's not. Actually, we
Asian teams are good.
ha,
Their culture in Asian area is fantastic. Indonesia has a huge football culture.
uh,
Thailand is the
go
same. Oh,
away.
great! Oh my God, two times. Oh, come on! Oh,
India
come
came
on!
close.
India with a
Mishra
very
put
close
in on.
chance. They hit the bar with
Mm,
the shot.
uh, okay.
Very close, and then Chhetri had two half chances, which was
Yeah.
blocked out.
Yeah.
So, but still, not bad.
Your favorite player only hit the post.
Rahul KP.
Yes.
He's got all the potential, man. Like I just wish he puts it all together.
No comment.
I always look at speed as this thing that you can't teach. If you
I
actually
always
have
look
that
at
speed, then if you can work on
I
things,
always look at I always look at a lot of
he's a
factors,
winger. He
including
needs speed.
no, sure, like like okay. I'm saying all of that is fine. Okay, but in the modern game, nobody even hugs the touchline and crosses it anymore. Everyone's playing inverted winger, and the inverted winger doesn't need the speed. The inverted winger needs
But
to
that's
be
okay.
able.
We can have an old school winger also.
Oh, fine. Old school, new school. I'm not saying. General decision maker. See,
See, that's
the
why I said he has to
people.
put the other things together. He has a raw material.
Look, look, look,
He has to
look.
put
look.
everything else together.
Find KBFC fan who watches them week in week out. Ask them about their honest opinion, right? And I'm telling you, the kids who are coming through that academy are fantastic. Are far better, right? There's a
No,
couple
see,
coming through
I just so that
who are.
everybody is clear. You know, when Orko says my favorite player, he is being sarcastic. But I always feel like a fast winger, he has to
Hmm,
put the other things together. When Udanta was breaking through, he was also this
uh,
touchline crosser guy. No? If
he's
yeah, no,
still
if he had
he's still
learned to come inside a little bit more,
uh,
and they worked on it. I know that the people in the club worked on it, especially Ashley and Brad, and so after that also even Carles and all of them wanted him to evolve. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. You just need to add more and more and more because after a while they'll know you're going out. So they'll let you go.
Huh. No variation only.
So they'll show you out or they'll block the outside lane and then what do you do? Then you have to come inside on
Huh.
your weaker foot and then what do you do? So yeah, you need to keep evolving. Oh, we've lost the ball badly there.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a good pass.
That's no. So my point is all that pace and all is fine, but I see I see the way that these guys play, right? I see I see that there are wingers. Okay, tell me this: would you take an Isak Ralte or would you take a Rahul KP?
Exactly.
Yeah, simple, right? Because
Yeah.
Isak's doing that over and over again, where he's breaking opposition defenses down. He's super smart,
Yeah,
right?
Isaac is yeah, but see, he's not there, so there's no point in
I know. I'm just saying. I'm
yeah.
just saying, right? I'm just saying. The thing is, KP is there because we need to keep justifying our under 17 mega project, right?
I think that people have forgotten about that mega project. And
I doubt that.
otherwise, we should be asking. I had written one story about the money spent on that team, money
Yeah.
spent on exposure tours on the girls under 17
Yeah.
team, all of this, and how much money we have spent on all this,
Yeah.
while how much money has been spent on running
The
tournaments.
the under 17 captain has moved to a fifth club, and he's still, and ISL clubs are so fucking lazy. They'll sign the same players again, right? But he is flopped there also.
I don't
He's
think
not
that's
playing there
because they
also.
are lazy. I think it's because of other factors. You know as well as I do.
Uh, yeah, he didn't call Isaac. In the name of spent so many crores. Yeah, man. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Honestly, this is my honest feeling
Uh,
that I am going to demand a lot more from these batches because they were given a lot more.
you should. You
So
should.
if they don't perform, I think it's fair to call them out.
You
Generally,
should.
I try not to be too harsh on players,
Yeah,
but
you're the
if
nice
you've
guy.
been, yeah,
You're
if
the
you're
nice guy
spending
in the
so much
pod.
money on
Yeah.
25, 30 players, and
Yeah.
if not even a sixth of them, which is generally rule of thumb, right? Under 17, one sixth generally make it to the top level.
Hmm.
And the same under 17 had who's it? Phil Foden was there. The other player of the tournament, he
Huh.
didn't make much of it, right? Ryan
Who was it?
Brewster didn't do much.
No, no. No. So Sergio Gomez signed for the silver ball winner.
Hmm.
Signed for Man City. Moved
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Dortmund. Yes. Yeah. Signed for Man City.
No, no.
Then
Ryan Brewster was a striker, right? It didn't work out that
Ian
well
Brewster
for
was
him.
the Golden Boot winner. The
Huh.
silver ball winner was Sergio Gomez of Spain,
Yeah.
who essentially left Barcelona to move to Dortmund,
Hmm.
then played for Anderlecht, and then I think signed for City as a backup left
Yeah.
back now. Still, signing for City is still a big deal,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, he's
You
still
have
playing in top level European.
Ryan Brewster's also playing in the championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But
Right?
that's
You
what
but
we are saying. Under 17 level, I think one
you have a
sixth is
lot of no.
generally
You have that Paulinho guy who went on to play for Bayer Leverkusen for the longest time.
hmm. Hmm.
You have Vinicius Junior, who would arguably have been the
Who's
player
the
of
one of the best
tournament.
now? I think he's one of the best players in the world.
Who?
Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, Vinicius Junior is one of the best players in the world. Who would have been the best player of the tournament? I was saying who
Hmm.
would have been the best player tournament had he turned up, but his club said we need him. Right?
Hmm.
We have Jadon Sancho, right?
Yeah,
Who
Jadon Sancho was also there. No, I
who
forgot.
played three games.
Serginho Dest was there, right?
Serginho Dest was there. Josh Sargent got a move to Norwich City,
And
right?
Timothy Weah was there. He's playing
Timothy
in his.
Weah is playing in Liga On, right?
Yeah.
So there are countless examples. We're the only people who selected overage frauds, right? And still got thrashed there. And I'm not going to hold back because seeing what's happening here, right? You're seeing what's happening here and the batch of miracles and whatnot, right? So it's not just the managers. The
Do you feel
the
that the people who
the
manage these young
so
footballers,
so so
like let me read the question for people who are just
uh,
listening. Like Komal Tattal from Under 17 World Cup, as do you feel they have negative influence? As a lot of them have faded away, like Komal and Amarjeet.
So wait. So essentially, I'm tell you a story, right? It's not just it's not just them. It's not just them. According to a lot of people who have a knowledge and personal interaction also with a lot of this India youth NT players, I don't know what they think of themselves. They are like starting from lifestyle to everything, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll also give you an example. One time a very respected coach went to the AFF Elite Academy to pick up players, right? As usual, overage men were sitting there instead of placed by boys, because boys usually ask different questions. So he finished his whole session and they said, "This is why you should come to this academy, and this is a top division." This was a top division club, right? The only question that the the men there could ask was that 40 lakh मिलेगा क्या 50 lakh, that's the only thing they could ask. And the coach was left with a very negative impression of these folks. I'm not saying money is not important, money is important, but you could have asked about style of play, you could have asked about the plan for young footballers.
Ooh,
What are
India
the
just about escaped with a close.
yeah, yeah, but
Sandesh, brave of Sandesh to jump there.
uh, but
Kudos.
if you're talking about India's youth, right, they are some of the most obnoxious people ever, Indian youth NT. And there are two especially, right, who overage again banged a lot of goals, playing for the same ISL club also, right? One of them is in this squad also, right? I mean, if you listen to them talk, right? Imagine being a 23-year-old and scoring goals in a in under 20 final, in a SAF under 20 final, and being like insanely proud of it, right? So these are their values have been corrupted long before they get managers or agents or representatives. It has nothing to do with agents. In fact,
And
agents are required
losing
because
that's
otherwise half of these people are anguta chaps. 90% of these people can barely spell their own name. Of course, that's changing slowly. That's changing, but 90% of the players that can barely sign their own name. So representatives, in fact, save them from like malicious practices, like clubs not paying on time and all of that. The problem is their peer groups and the way their mindset works.
See, I am not going to say anything about specific players or which
Hmm.
batch or whatever, but the age fraud thing is a
Hmm.
big part of it is the grassroots coaches.
Hmm.
They are ready to do this because their coaching academy will start winning and they'll get more money and better fame.
Uh,
That's a huge thing. And then the problem is someone like what is his name? Gaurav Mukhi
hmm.
gets caught out in
He was a
the.
scapegoat.
He
He
was a
was a
scapegoat, and
scapegoat.
he was made a
Hmm.
scapegoat. His career was ruined. And
Scapegoat.
yes, he's clearly it's not fair what he has done, but
Huh.
the system allowed him to do it, and the system probably encouraged him to do
Uh,
it also.
do you know the best
Two
part
years
of it? So,
ago, and this is not just a football thing. Couple of years ago, when I was
hmm.
still writing as a journalist, I had written article after article about age fraud in badminton
Hmm.
with proof and everything. Nothing
Hmm.
came. Nothing happened. At least badminton, they tried to fix the issue, but there is a limitation because
Um,
most of the people don't have a birth certificate when they're born.
one
So
of
then
Indian
they can
badminton's
get it
biggest
later.
one of Indian badminton's biggest talents made his name that way only,
Yeah,
being
that's
an
also another.
outstanding
Yeah.
outstanding youth player.
But
But that
then
is,
once they get to the senior level, then you don't have any benefit.
there's no hiding. There's no
Yeah, there's
hiding.
no hiding. Then all
But
your physical positives
uh,
that you had is gone now. It's all a
but
level.
how does the system enable age fraud? Right, I'll tell you. You spoke about Gaurav Mukhi, right? Gaurav Mukhi's Jharkhand won a sub junior boys championship. Right, this was 3 or 4 years before he played for Jamshedpur, scored that goal. Right, what happened then was that Gaurav, Mukhi, including some 6, 7 people were given 1 year bans for age frauds, and they started playing
Okay,
again.
they're running on goal.
They're running on goal. Oops, slightly
Oh,
overthrown.
for once it was a bad pass. Thank God.
It's like, yeah, by number 12. But number 22 has crazy potential. Like he's 20. He's playing in Europe already. Like I mean, let's see. So so Jharkhand as a state did not get any bans, right? The man at the helm of the FA, in fact, kept on getting on a lot of committees in the AFF, right?
Okay,
Why
now
did
Chhetri is
this?
running on goal.
Uh,
Thapa passes out wide or slightly
uh,
slowed down the whole thing. Rahul, come on, bro.
uh, why did the system allow Muki to do age fraud twice, right? Huh.
Yeah. Now they're trying to stop all this with the whole CRS and all that stuff.
The CRS
But
is a
still,
fail.
but still
CRS is a
people
fail.
will do. There was stories that I heard. I mean, obviously, these are stories that coaches tell you. I don't know how
Uh,
long ago now. So you'll
uh,
have one guy going for an age test. You have to do the TW13, 3W3 test, right, for the wrist. And the younger brother will go and do it for him because nobody knows, right? So,
mm,
so his TW test, he's like, yeah, 13-year-old, but he's actually
mm,
16 years old.
uh,
There were some crazy stories that you heard over the years.
uh,
I was
yes.
one player told me also that the paper May 23, actual May 28 or something, 26 or something.
Uh,
He was.
so the
This is
CRS
all
is a
after
fail.
they retired. One of the great
Huh?
people that you can speak to is a former player, not an
Mm,
international, but a former player, a goalkeeper.
mm,
He he would tell such stories.
mm,
Well, he was coaching in some. He was in the he was in the
mm,
under 20 team or something,
mm,
and then one guy was playing in the under 17,
mm,
and he's like, "Oh, मेरे साथ खेला था." Now he's playing under 17.
mm.
This happened.
I know a coaching instructor who
Mm.
had a coaching license session, basically a D license course, right? He had an 18-year-old, and obviously he said one of the better coaches there. And then 3 months later, he saw that guy playing for some states junior side. Man,
Hey,
Sandesh,
why?
I don't know why
I mean,
Sandesh
why?
is doing that. I really.
What
Uh,
was it? Was a goal that ball for Gurpreet to catch. Chumma cost
uh,
unnecessary trouble there.
what should we approach against Syria? We should go for a win. Right? And honestly, um,
I mean, somebody
again,
messaged there like you lose against Syria, you will finish 130 in the world.
huh. But huh, sure. I mean, you can. That's one way to look at it. But you have to go for it against Syria. Like you have to, not just from a ranking perspective, but from
So
a
after this
perspective that
match,
you
what is the
uh,
table like? India's last.
India's last.
Uzbekistan has one win.
Syria's third,
Syria's
Uzbekistan second, Australia have qualified already.
yeah. So we were looking at Syria, who has one point. So
Uh,
India has to beat them, and then can we be one of the better third place team with just 3 points?
but we now have a minus five
Yeah,
ka
goal difference.
GB, minus five ka goal difference. What a really have. And I mean, speaking of greatest defender ever, like I said, people who watch the matches and don't just run like this, like I mean, uninformed is the best word I can use. Uninformed, hot take YouTube shit posting channels. You'll
See,
always know ki
see Apuya there again. He went there, two
ah,
players are right there, took one touch, turned it around. Now he spread the play to the right side.
what the hell did Pujari do
That
there?
was it. But at least second half,
What?
India has actually played a lot more in the opposition
Ah,
half.
we were speaking about the under 17 in age frauds, right? Uh, and the Vapes, I think, tried to get me to say something controversial, but I'm not, right? Yeah.
No, it's fair. Don't
Huh.
get it.
Bhayo, you all are following IFT since much before all of us.
What
Is
is
probably
IFT?
true.
Indian football.
Indian football team,
Okay.
dude. Get with the times and the lingo. Like,
Okay.
how are you all optimistic to sit through matches? We always teams to give false hope for a bit only to collapse. A, don't have hope. B, we are used to they're numb to it right now. We go into every match expecting not to lose. Right?
I
That's
read
what.
a lot of
Uh,
tragedy books also, so maybe it comes from there.
uh, uh, Tragedy books 5 point someone.
Hey, no,
Uh,
no. Sorry.
I'm
This
kidding.
one, this trilogy is a very tragic trilogy if you
Uh,
have time.
mm, mm, the waves. I'm not going to touch your comment, right? Because
No, no, it's fine. It's I genuinely feel
uh,
people who give their all.
I have a one. I mean, let's not.
Oh,
Let's not.
they escaped
Let's
a good defense in the end by
yeah,
think it
let's
was
not just get into it. The
Nikhil
waves.
Pujari.
Uh, Let me not. Right.
I mean, it's not disheartening, man, because honestly, we sort of know what is the scene.
Ah,
So
man, also the waves. I just want to say that we as people are happy to give it our all for Indian
like,
football.
look
Like I
at
love
this right
Indian
now. Okay,
football,
we
man.
make absolutely zero money from injury time, and we spend a lot of time doing such stuff. But it's
Yeah,
just
dude.
something that we like to do.
Yeah, dude. Like I mean, that other guy has 100K and he makes money off YouTube talking absolute nonsense about Indian
I
football.
don't
We are
know
not
who
that
you are
people.
talking about.
We could have no. I'm saying we could have bowed down to that level. We could have gone down that level. We've not. We decided to consciously stay away from it because we love it, man. We can't. We I can't ever switch off from Indian football.
And this is a conversation we constantly have about. Maybe it's enough,
Yeah,
man. We've our friends are making more money doing other things. Maybe we should switch. And
yeah,
both of us are engineers. We have possibility of
yeah,
moving in that direction and stuff. But they just
yeah,
sort of stick around. This is,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
some sort of what do you call gluttony
Yeah.
towards.
Yeah, well, we are gluttony towards punishment. Any players who did not feature today you would like to see against Syria on 23rd? Honestly, no. I think Brandon maybe
Yeah,
Brandon and again, like I said,
but you
this
need,
guy coming on.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Sandeep. I know you said he has pace and all, but man, like we needed an intelligent guy against Uzbekistan to break open the lock. I'm again telling you, they've done Brandon Fernandez dirty. They've done him dirty,
I think he's an
and
extremely underappreciated player. Like we keep talking
he
about this,
is.
right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's also because he's not a physical beast, right? He doesn't do this lung bursting runs or post. That's too easy, man. That's too
So
easy
beat
for
them
them to
through the
break
right
through.
side, and it's okay. As luckily
Like,
they hooked it away, but
yeah,
look again,
they
it's
just
just a 1-2, and yeah,
it's a simple 1-2. And while the 1-2 is happening, the players are moving. Our players are static. They're watching the ball. They're letting the 1-2 happen. Again, dude, it's just let me get to the under 17 squad, right? Dheeraj has been dropped for Arshdeep, right? Boris sometimes hit, sometimes miss, but a sub. Jitendra Singh sometimes plays, sometimes doesn't, hit and miss. Anwar Ali, good.
very
Sanjeev
good.
Stalin, huh?
Anwar Ali, very good.
Anwar Ali very good. Sanjeev Stalin again hit and miss.
Sanjeev Stalin for a
Suresh,
couple of years was in Portugal also, if you remember.
yes. But we've seen a lot of these. No,
Yeah,
Suresh Singh Wangjam again one of Sandeep's favorites, but I'm not going to
I
say
think you
anything.
do him a lot of disservice more than anything else.
I don't. And someday somebody will come and talk about him. I'm not going to tell
But
anything about talk
here's the
about him.
thing: the best pass from India in this entire tournament was played by Suresh only.
Uh, yeah,
I always look at Suresh in the sense that he's limited in
mm.
some sense, in not in some sense, he's limited in what he can really do well, but he does with full
Uh,
gusto, and he
so
does what
wait, I also have Gusto. Should I get into the national team now? I'm saying,
but
I'm saying,
everybody can't be like this fancy player. Some people have to be workman level player, and
no. I mean,
you have what is his name? Like the
look at
Kerala
this guy.
sent.
Look at this guy. He has all the time in the world. He has all the time in the
Who are you
world. He
talking about?
takes two, three, four more touches. Finally,
Who?
finally. I'm saying KP.
KB, okay. I
Oh
was talking
my
about Suresh. I was
God.
suddenly wondering what is going on.
No, no,
Was
I'm
out
saying
and
KP, right?
Pandita
He
is
has.
on.
Yeah, he.
Brandon
Oh
is on
God.
finally. Let's see what. I hope he can do something.
Sunil is off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunil is off. Pandita is on. And
Pandita and
I
Asian
would keep
Cup.
Sunil on, man, regardless of what
Yeah, I would,
happens. Just
but it's
keep
okay.
him
I
there.
think it's for Syria. How to join injury time? Work alongside Sandeep and I mean, do you really want to work without any? We can't afford to pay anybody. To be very honest.
We don't pay
So we can't.
anybody.
Uh, who do you prefer for pace? I don't prefer either of them because I've seen one. I've seen very up close.
Oh,
One of these I've seen
oh,
very
that
up
was a
close.
good header. Good
That
save.
was a good header. That was a good header, but good save. But
Yeah.
right.
Again, is that Rahul Beke?
Uh, that's all back.
Yeah, he has a
Again,
knack of turning up with headers in big
huh,
games.
but I like my defenders who can actually defend also. So
Again,
right. Huh. No, no. I'm saying you look at these players and you're saying, oh, I've seen them in ISL and all, dude. Like, what's the standard,
I mean,
right?
everybody has only played ISL now. What is the standard money? Like, that is the
No,
only
I'm
place you
saying
can
I'm,
see
I'm,
them.
saying-
No?
I'm saying once they go to it, I'm saying the Indian national teams played 15 matches last year,
Huh, they must
right?
have played. No? I mean, if
That's
Anwar Ali
that's
was playing today, Rahul Beke at best would be a right back. But
that's
our
that's
best center
that's
half is
no.
our best centre back is not fit, unfortunately.
Playing only. How best centre back's not playing, right?
Our best
So,
CDM is injured.
huh.
Our best
So
central attacking midfielder is also injured.
wait. You look at that. We're looking at the under 17 squad, right? You have Nintoy, who's again a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Amanjit Kia benched at 5 clubs. Aniket Jadhav, well, the less said about Aniket Jadhav, the better.
Where is he now?
Uh,
Jamshedpur itself. Huh?
I don't know, keeps shuttling between clubs. Abhijit Sarkar, nobody knows, last played for Real Kashmir, was a sub in the I League. Komal Thattal, again, has moved so many clubs. Henry Anthony, nobody knows where he is now. He
He
was
was in
last seen playing
Chennai
for Odisha.
for a while.
Huh?
He was in Chennai for a while.
Last
But
seen
Henry
playing for.
Anthony didn't play, right? He was just part of the squad.
He was playing for Odisha, Chennai,
Yeah.
wherever, right? Apuya. Apuya is one guy who did not actually have a big role in that World Cup. Imagine how bad Di Matos was. That Apuya did not have a role in that World Cup, right? And also, guys, 80% of the squad is age fraud, right? So no patting these guys on the back or anything, right? Um, Rahim Ali, right? Again, like you've seen
He keeps
anyone who's seen national team matches with Rahim Ali, you've seen the comments. Dixon is out injured, plays playing regularly for Kerala Blasters. Nongdama Naonem again keeps shuttling from club to club, hasn't settled down. Rahul KP is on the pitch right now. Namit Deshpande, Mohammad Shahjahan was last seen playing for some Manipuri club. Prabh Sukhan Singh playing for East Bengal and Sunny Dhaliwal. Like that's it, right? So how many of these squads, how many of these people make it finally, right?
But if 1/6 is generally what I look, well, not 1/6, maybe like the one, yeah, 1/5 or something like that. At
Yeah,
17, at
but
20, you most of them should end up having like a decent career if you are in the under 20 national team.
look, uh, Sarkar, Shahjahan, Deshpande, and Dhaliwal have almost disappeared. Yeah, from public memory. That leaves the other 19 people, right? They had a 21-man squad. I'm seeing and other 19 people. So give it some time. Give it time. A lot of people. A lot of people. Some of these people have no idea how they have ISL contracts, but they should. Like I said, there is an intrinsic push, and there was an intrinsic push, especially by earlier management who were desperate to have ISL clubs signed. Because how else are we going to justify the ridiculous expenditure on the under 17 World Cup, right? And trust me, Sandeep,
Hmm?
How many baby leagues could that have run? That money,
Oh, baby leagues everywhere in the country. I
but
forgot the number, dude, but if you can find out, it's there in an article I've written for Deccan Herald. Uh, before the under 17 women's
it
World
was
Cup.
north of 300 CR for sure.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it is either during the previous SAF Cup or during the under 17 women's game. Women's.
the waves, you have a point. You saying you use this phrase cheap tricks to get coaches out. I think
You have
you
to
have
read
your
it.
own
People
answer.
are listening; they might not see.
Okay, okay. Does the story hold any truth? Nicola Adam being abusive? No. Also heard Houghton was racist? Maybe, but
We don't
we
know.
did not we don't know because he was generally a very pleasant man. Uh, cheap tricks to get coaches out? Yes, so many. And Nicola Adam was
Nicola
fantastic.
Adam was a great coach. I mean, his problem was that he was
Fantastic.
a disciplinarian more than anything else.
Fantastic. I loved him. Right. Wonder how Stimac managed to stay for so fucking long. I wish I could say things on the spot. I really wish that I could say things that I've heard, but I can't because of the defamation law. I can't. Right. But yeah,
Yeah.
essentially,
But this
essentially,
is just one. Think about it. You brought in a coach to play for the Asian Cup, and the Asian Cup should be the litmus test. And I'm okay
hmm.
with that, right? I mean, a lot of people was the match out, etc. I was always the guy like, no, he has to be here till the Asian Cup.
Huh.
But to, I don't, and there was, why did the federation who looked just months before, like they were looking to get Simach out of the door, leaking a lot of
Huh.
stories and recycling old stories,
Huh.
suddenly hand
Why
him
did they give him an
an
extension?
extension
Exactly.
before the tournament
Exactly.
starts, and then like I'm still okay. I don't have any problem with Stimats. I think he's doing what he can. But this, you wonder why this change of heart suddenly after all these stories that they leaked for,
Mm,
and recycle the astrologer story again, and all those things
mm,
are. It's very confusing, man. And there is
uh,
something to be asked, but
yeah.
unfortunately, nobody seems to be asking those questions. I don't
If
think
I could just,
Shaji will ever come for a podcast again. Oh, great save by Gurpreet, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, he's just
No, I mean, I mean, if I was to just drop a hint, sometimes even a crore plus of money is not enough for some people. That's all I'll say. And because I've heard what's happened, and it's ridiculous what's happened.
yeah, I
Right?
mean,
Go ahead.
whatever the thing, but the idea, the simple idea of the chronology should raise a lot of questions. That's all I'm
Huh.
saying.
No, but no, but our so-called journalists don't ask any questions. The federation released
Counterattack,
a
counterattack. Oh, you're not fast enough.
oh no, you had Pandita. What counter attack,
He is
dude? You
not
have
going to.
Pandita. You're Pandita. What counter attack?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I'm saying the federation also released a statement saying uh, has been sacked for um, breach of trust, and now that
He,
guy is
oh my God. He went
uh,
right through the in between two center backs. Luckily, the
yeah. I
pass was
mean,
a little overhit, but that
yeah.
that would have been really bad.
No, I'm saying the federation put out this thing saying breach of sack for breach of trust and all, and then we're seeing people partying in Qatar. So,
There's a
dude,
case in
like
the High Court, man, of
there is a
wrongful
case.
termination or something.
There is a case in the High Court wrongful termination, but why didn't Indian football send its counsel on the first day?
And what can you say? These are all.
I mean,
I mean, I am done asking all these kind of questions. I mean, we can ask it
yeah,
into the air or give some details when we obviously hear stories about what is going on.
yeah,
But
yeah. But if I have to say, has he earned this extension? He's not. This on the basis of, I would say, out of the four halves India have played, only one was even mildly acceptable.
this half
The
is
other three
okay.
are playing.
But to be fair,
Dude,
Uzbekistan also is probably taking it light.
they're playing in first gear, not even second gear, playing first gear.
I mean, one goal, man, like that. You can't come back without scoring one goal.
But if India does come back without scoring a goal,
See, if they don't come back without a win, it's worse than last year, straightforward.
Boston last time,
I
yeah,
mean, not last year, nahi? Like last 2019.
last time, yeah.
But that's a given. And with this team, which I think is a better, more talented team,
Ah, again,
more talented team.
again.
Not, I didn't say more disciplined, more hardworking.
No, no. I mean, there are some people there who should not have been on the
I
plane.
mean,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. I mean, last time also we were saying there are people who should have
No,
been there.
there are so many of these. This time there are many of those. This time there are many of those. Look, injuries have hit the team hard,
Yeah, it was a
right?
very bad
But,
situation.
what's also happened is that, look, the coach has to watch the ISL. He has to watch the ISL. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're telling me, are these the best, most informed players? No. Is Indian football selection completely done by the
What
coach?
a great
No.
pass out of the left wing.
That's
Again,
an
he's
incredible pass. Oh, he
on his
just
motorbike
overplays it.
coming inside.
Huh,
Oh, he tried to beat the man. Went.
huh, huh. Is Mahesh Kohli having a say in selection? Is he the one pushing the substandard India youth? So he should be a question. Whoever I'm saying, I'm not. Mahesh Kohli is an example. Right? Finally, India's tormentor is off. Faizulev is just. I don't think India will ever want to play this guy again. Like he's just he's just tormented India whole time, right? He's not given, and I think Nikhil Pujari will be like, he'll be happy, he'll be super happy that he's off. But yeah, I mean, you can see the sort of talent that's playing for CSK also, right? The usual stuff only. Arko and Sandeep, what has changed under Praful Patel and Kalyan Chaubey leadership? Do you see any difference or usual stuff? More of the usual only. More of PR gimmicks. Essentially, things that the older management was too lazy to do. These guys put out some stuff, right? But again, like the murkier discussions, those things never make it in make it in public into the public. But what's happened is that now there are much even more grander promises and plans and all of that, but nothing comes off.
There has also been a
Nothing comes
lot
off.
of brain drain from AIFF.
Yes,
People
yes.
who actually knew
Knew the game.
what they were
People who
supposed
knew
to
the
do
game.
in an
Yes,
admin
yes.
level.
No, people who knew the game also. Sorry,
Yeah, 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 of
they
course.
can only know what to do at the admin level if they know the game.
Yeah. So there is that. That one is there.
Uh,
But otherwise, yeah. I mean, let's look at the ideas that were floated. One was the home and away women's league, which every club didn't hated, and now you are seeing IWL is happening. People don't even know. And then you had the institutional league, which was also a promise, which is not taken off
uh,
at all, and
uh,
nothing we can hear nothing about it. There was something that I had written long time ago after a conversation about some university tie-ups and stuff like that, which again it's an ambitious project, but nothing has come of that either. So there are, but the thing is, these are right noises to make as far as getting
yeah,
the
and
stories out.
it keeps the simpletons and the casuals happy, right? And right now Indian football is like, oh my god, like, okay, Sandeep, now look at the lineup that's currently on the pitch, and tell and tell me honestly, if like, if this is a lineup that should be on the pitch, you look at the quality of players, right? Because
I can't talk about all this now. They are the ones
yeah,
who are there. I'm done questioning squads and this and that. We mentioned so many players. I felt like Yasir probably deserved a chance to be.
Yassis had a terrible season.
But
Yassis
there
had a
are
terrible
others who
season.
had terrible season are still in the team. So if by that
Yeah,
same
there
logic,
are people who barely played. There are people who barely played
like
and they
Ishan Pandita, I mean, no offense, he's hardly played, but he's there in the team.
Ishan Pandit 27 minutes.
Yeah, so he's there in the team. So I think Yasir at least he's playing. He's in a terrible team, in a terrible situation outside the field. Also, obviously, it's not going to help.
No,
I'm
but
sure we'll
okay.
see very good Yasir in the
Look,
future
look,
because he's now in Goa.
look,
He's going to
look,
start
look,
playing again.
look. Like I said, I was having a conversation to some insider, and he said most of these guys play well under a Manolo. Like everything has to be perfect for them. It has to be super structured for them. Like the coaching has to be perfect, right? They have to enjoy the coach's confidence, right? They have to get paid on time. Everything, right? Now, Mishra's Mishra's gone to Mumbai City, right? And any self-respecting Mumbai City fan who's seen him in the ACL will talk to you about his form, right? So, what sort of superstars are these if they need the perfect conditions to succeed? You will not, and I told this to Razia. Razia's uh, my 18-year-old, right? She's looking to get to IWL. I said you will not always have perfect conditions. You will not always have conditions which match your desire. Sometimes you have to make your way through, right? So just just the exit of a Manolo has seen so many people's form drop.
Not
So
just that, like you look at, let's say, the wing back, right? Akash Mishra, ACL.
uh,
In ACL, he's playing against a foreigner. In India, he's playing against an Indian, for whom he is more than matched. You go to the next
wait,
level, then
wait,
suddenly
wait.
you are
The Wave,
exposed.
the Wave, self-respecting Mumbai fan. Mishra has been god awful.
No, I mean,
Listen
yeah,
to
he
the
is
guys
not
who
playing.
listen to the
I
guys
think
who
Mumbai this year, because of the travel they had to do, because of the fact that they got
now
really tough ACL group also,
you look at
even their ISL performance has not been at the same level.
uh, you look at Mishra at the for the national team against Malaysia also got
Yeah, yeah,
skinned,
he's,
man. Got absolutely skinned by Faisal. That was the name of the winger. He wasn't even going up against Arif Aiman. He wasn't even going up against their biggest talent, right? See, I know people love to hate against Bose, but Bose does his job. We keep saying this again and again. Bose gets the job done,
yeah, I think he's very
right?
solid defender. I
As a
tell one
defense,
story about him also. When he was in
uh,
Bangalore FC,
uh,
Mikku noticed that he was one of those players who wanted to actually improve.
uh,
So then Mikku actually took him under his wing,
huh.
would ensure that he does the right thing off the field, and those kind of things.
Who is this?
Subhashish,
Subhash's boss, huh? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
because he's noticed, and these players notice there are always those guys who are
That
willing to give back and they'll look after players.
that
And look at what
BSC
he's done,
system,
right? Went to
that
Mumbai and was
uh,
the captain in Mumbai. Did
uh,
quite well with a
uh,
less than ideal squad, let's say, because they are not a top four squad.
uh,
And then went to Mohan Bagan and is absolutely killing him. I think he's
that that boss season at BFC was
hmm.
arguably his best season
Yeah,
that
he
I've
was a
seen.
standout player.
He was electrical. He was electric, right? He was superb. Like
Yeah,
and we loved him because he was a versatile, and we were both in Bangalore at that point in time
yeah,
covering
yeah.
the game there.
He would
He
play back three. He could play out
he
wide
could
on the
play
left.
back three, he could play back four, right? But obviously, and you have a lot of younger Mohan Bagan fans who also the older Mohan Bagan fans, I have to say, they watched the game, they would understand the game, they would try and process the game. Now you see a lot of people shitting. You see a lot of people shitting on Juan Ferrando, the guy who literally made Pandita's career. The guy who lit. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy
Look at
that
how much he improved Sahal.
dude, Anwar Ali
Yeah,
played
Amber Ali
under him
also.
at Goa, under
Hmm.
him playing at Mohan Bagan. The thing is,
He's done well.
and
Man,
someone
he
said this.
won the league last year. People forget he won the league and Duran
Dude,
Cup.
someone said this in our AMA. Football literacy is very important. Football literacy, who's a good player and who's not, because even at the ISL level, right, you have people taking calls which are befuddling, and these calls are hurting the national team as well because you have
One
quality
header
players.
wide by
Huh?
Uzbekistan.
Yeah,
A
it's
header
slightly
from.
wide. I'm saying you have quality players who eventually lose interest or go on to get a degree because they're stuck in I League 2. Right? But they are supremely intelligent. For example, one guy, I'm so delighted because I always used to think that guy wouldn't get his due. Hitesh Sharma, right?
Hmm. Again,
Not a
Manoli made it.
not the biggest of them all,
Yeah.
right? Not the fastest of them all, but someone who's a damn intelligent player and someone who's an actual age guy, right? Someone who's an actual age guy, right? So he still has time in front. He has significant amounts time ahead of him. So, but that's what I'm saying. If Indian football were more meritocratic, for example, I have a friend, right? In case someone thinks I'm too critical, I'm not naming the friend because they might get targeted. But he's after years he's got a chance. He's very young, right? Very 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 young, 21, 20, whatever. He's finally got a chance at an ISL club, right? Supremely intelligent player, but was always overlooked for more physical players, right? And where are those physical players now? They're playing RBI or income tax or Tripura League. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I'm saying, not only is our coaching bad, our scouting, our selection, everything has to be overhauled. Slightly off topic, what are your thoughts on Hyderabad FC struggling? When will they stay afloat? Coach left, foreign players leaving, hope situation improves and they start winning. I doubt it. I doubt it. It's
I don't think they will go under. Okay. Oh, Pandita got the ball. Then
Pandita lost the
he's easily shuffled away.
ball. Sahal was coached by Fernando over 3 4 months. Yes,
Yes,
you
yes,
can see.
absolutely. You
You can
see
see.
the things
You can
that the
see.
decision he makes in the final third is
The
changed.
proof is in the pudding, guys. That have you not seen? Like I was one of Sahal's biggest critics till last year, right? Because he would give off, he would he would make very poor decisions, especially when playing for the national team. But he's improved. He's improved.
He's improved, there's no doubt.
Look, there's a
He's
reason.
improved actually. If you look at the national team, Sahal has scored some really important big goals.
Oh,
SAP Cup final, two SAP Cup finals, I think he scored.
another
Oh,
another
smashed against the bar.
yeah,
Uzbekistan, the Rockets smashed against the bar.
Rockets. They've hit the bar thrice. It should be remembered in this
India hit
match.
once, lest we forget.
Yes, your favorite player. Yes.
You
Huh.
keep putting that shit on my head, okay?
No, you only said he's a great player, and I
When
disagree.
did I say Rahul KP is a great player?
No, I'm saying I'm free for KBS
No,
fans. I'm
when
not telling
did I ever say that? Now,
you.
now I got you.
You said he has space, so he has a
He
lot
has.
of.
I said he has the raw materials. I never said he's a great player.
No, I don't think he has the raw material. I think the
He
decision
has
making is
space. That is the raw
no.
material.
That is not the raw material.
That is,
He
yeah. He
that might
physically
be
he
the
has
raw
the pace.
material for him to succeed. There might be
No,
raw
that's the
material for
thing.
him.
For him to be a great player, he has to add the other things. You have to
Uh,
listen to what I'm also saying. He
uh,
has, as a winger, pace is your number one. He is one of the fastest in that team. Like if maybe if Rahul KP got the ball instead of Pandita there, I'm not saying he scores the goal. He might
and
probably get shot off
uh,
because just
and
because he can run through.
that's no longer case because if you're talking about a pure play old fashioned winger, yes, pace and crossing, yes, but
Those things I feel still has the value. You can't always be like
no,
everybody's
no,
inverted winger and all that.
no, we're not no, but modern football's moving towards inverted wingers, right? And fullbacks overlapping or underlapping, right? That's where modern football's moving.
I don't know. I can't say all that because I feel like there is a general trend, but that doesn't
Uh,
mean everybody has to stick to that.
uh. Anyway, I
Because
think
you match is
I
over.
think
I
match is
didn't have
over.
any injury time, is it? I think they
Uh,
sort of whistled it off. I think that's fair.
the,
Comfortable win for Uzbekistan
uh,
in the end. I think that is probably the nail in the coffin for India
हाँ
and their hopes.
दोस्तों मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि कौन सबसे बड़ा क्लाउन है मैं जो इनको सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ या फिर ये जो खेल रहे हैं प्लीज कीप सपोर्टिंग प्लीज कीप
Yeah,
सपोर्टिंग डू यू
always
थिंक
keep supporting.
अंडर 23 team needs to not under 23 team I think we need an under 23 league like Premier League has a reserves league we need a reserves league to
No,
really
I don't like an under 23 league and all. If you are, you make it by that time, or else you go down and play a proper under 23 Premier League Reserve League is a it's like this. what do you call this purgatory where if people go there, they don't come out. They play that league and that's it. Otherwise, they go down.
Do you
So
know why they have a reserves league?
I just to keep playing and so that
No,
injured players
no,
can come back and all
no,
that
no,
stuff.
no, 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 no. No. The reserves in order of teams at a club is the second highest, the reserves of the main team. So what happened?
Under
Wait,
23 league is
wait,
what I'm
listen to
talking
me.
about.
No, wait, listen to me. Take care. There is a reserves league because there are a lot of people who play and who play till the age of 30 also in the reserves league. Right? Those people are just playing to make a living. Right? But
That's what I'm saying.
but wait, that's what I'm saying. You have to wait. You have to wait. You have to have some patience. 16, 17-year olds who the club officials they're not sure or whether they can put them in. That is the reserves league is the best testing ground. The reserve league is
Oh,
the
have
best
a
testing
reserves
ground.
league, not an under 23 league. Just have a reserves league. Play with your young players.
Fine,
Play with
fine.
injured 30-year-old,
But
one 30-year-old who's not good enough but experienced. Put him
uh,
there so that they can learn.
but
We have
most
tried a version of this, right, with Indian Arrows.
but that's not a reserves league. That's just
No, but
one
we
team.
tried one full team with young players,
Huh.
and it's not really worked out, right? Like it's worked out in some sense,
Because
but
because they went young players.
exactly,
Be-
just let them play.
because they went young players, right?
Oh,
Be-
that way.
be- because they because they went young players, right? Because they were 20 21 on paper, which means they were 24 25. They were not young players. So it
That is going to happen regardless right now. You
no
can't.
no. So I'm saying I'm saying if you have a reserves league, you have it, right? What happens is you have the old and new coming together.
See,
It's the
I
best.
agree with the idea of fundamentally of a reserve league because
Huh.
you can do a shadow thing, right? You go for the same ISL match, same players. The ones who are in the bench can play the next day or
There is an
whatever.
ISL team which used to do this. Remember, during the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
pandemic, because they couldn't get out of the bubble, there,
yeah,
and we know this team also really well. Like so,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
that idea is great. Now, anyway, you're traveling with your extra, take some few extra more players. Go there. Next day, you play in the training ground. The 5 6 subs who didn't play in that game also joins them, so they get their game time also. And then you fly
no,
back,
yeah,
and after
yeah.
that,
Yeah, do ask your questions. We are here for more 10 more
yeah, 10
21
more minutes.
minutes.
I
Yeah,
am
as
really
long as
hungry now.
because today we are having a very poor again we're having a very poor turnout. But I guess as because we are not going on there and saying Jai Hind, we're not going to get. But okay, this will still remain the most honest Indian football podcast. Still hoping India beats Syria. Yeah, same, right? One thing for sure, there are so many things that need to be overall. Where do we start? We start by making sure our young ones play. That's where it starts. See, someone rates it slavery. No, I'm saying you give them the chance. Culture is organic. Nobody really puts a gun to 4 year olds' heads and say you go out and play. Right? They play because they see it all around them. Right? So start with that. If you have a locality, if you're seeing that the kids there are struggling to play football, create spaces. Create spaces for them to play. Start there. 50% of the battle is won there. We can't be we can't good team if we don't have good 15-year-olds. We can't have good 15-year-olds if we don't have good 10-year-olds. We can't good start look, I
We have good 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. That's where we lose them.
no we don't.
We have, we have. We have good 12-year-olds, but the moment you shift to after that you shift to 11 aside, you lose them all.
Sorry. Good compared to what? What
I am talking about Kerala and in Bangalore and the coaches that I've spoken to there who are very honest and done their work in grassroots for a long time. They all tell me until 12 we are fine. We are not world level, but we are very good. After 12 we lose them all because first of all there is not enough 11 aside pitches in general for all these academy people to play. So they don't make the transition, and then obviously there are not enough games, and then the studies come in, and we don't have those culture and all that stuff. It just sort of dies down. But till 10, 12, we are still okay.
hard disagree. Hard disagree.
Fine.
Because
I mean, this is my lived
uh,
experience. That can be your
uh,
experience in Delhi
no,
or
no, no, no.
Kolkata
Wait,
or
wait,
wherever.
wait. That's not Delhi. I've covered football in Bangalore also, right? So,
But I also covered in Bangalore.
uh,
I'm telling you this
so,
from the
so
people I
wait,
know
wait,
in
wait for
Bangalore.
my
And people that you also know in
uh,
Bangalore, who are ones who have held academies for
uh,
donkey's years.
wait for my 2 cents. You gave your 2 cents. Now let me give 2 cents. If I say they're okay, right? They can bloom late, but most of the damage is done by the time the kids turn 14. I believe most are
14. I said
they,
before 12.
by the time they turn 14, which means the damage is already happening for years, right?
After
So
11. After 11,
so
yeah.
no, so I'm not even talking about European standard clubs and the 9 year olds they play that. Those are crazy. Not even comparing to those. If you go to YouTube, try and see how a Uzbeki 9 year old or a Iraqi 9 year old plays. You will get your answer. The coaches that work in grassroots are so painfully limited. They have not seen any of these. They have not read. They have not done their research. Most of them. They can't tell you ki our players are not different. When you play from 3 or 4, by the time you turn 10, those guys already have 250 matches ka experience. Those kids. And our kids are now starting at 8, 9. Before we used to start at 11, 12. You remember the Suresh story of when he started playing football? He
No.
used to play badminton. I was there, right? Because it was Delhi.
I am okay with kids playing
Aha.
whatever sport they
Kids
want
under
to.
12 should be multi-sport वैसे भी, right? But I'm saying we start way too late. So them
I still, I
so
mean,
no so
okay,
I'm not saying
you
three
can
or
say
four. I'm
that.
not saying 3 or 4. 5, 6, 7 is still a good is to start. But those coaches saying those
No, this is the thing, right? We want to specialize very young. You look at the Australian national team, half of them would have played
uh,
at least national level other sport.
mhm,
100%. You have Ellis Perry who played international cricket and football.
mhm,
New Zealand has Susie Bates who played basketball in the Olympics and plays
mhm.
cricket. You have Ash Bharti who played multiple sport at the
Huh.
highest level. So it's not and there have been research done. There is actually a book by Gladwell, Sporting Gene or something, where he was looking at someone like Federer who had multiple sport that he was playing until he decided to take tennis. And you see the similar kind of stories with so many. Gary Neville was a top batsman, and Phil Neville was a great batsman. They chose to play
Hmm.
football. So the idea of specializing in one at 12-year-old, I am not a
No,
fan
I'm
of. You play all the
that's
sport you
not what
want,
we're saying.
and then
But
you pick one or
but
the
they don't
other.
even start playing sport till
That is because you are so much more into studies. At 12 years old,
Hmm.
I covered swimming for a long time, right? I'm a big, like, I really enjoy covering swimming and all
Hmm.
those. The number of people at 13-year-olds are breaking national
Hmm.
records. I've seen Mana Patel was
Mona
one of them,
Patel.
a phenomenal swimmer.
Huh.
There was currently Ridhima is a phenomenal swimmer. And there are a lot of Srihari is a great swimmer.
Hmm.
So these guys are. I've seen them since they were 13 and 14. They had a lot of people at the same level when they were kids, but then there was a huge attrition
Hmm.
rate. Huge attrition rate. Last 2 years ago, I wrote a story. I got so
Hmm.
much criticism for the story, saying why the Indian swimming, especially women's swimming,
Hmm.
is lagging behind now. At one point, women's swimming was actually better than male swimming in terms of constantly breaking records.
Hmm.
So there is we have to look at our education that culture also. You get a sport quota, you get into sports quota into an
Hmm.
college. You don't have to maintain your academics or continue playing. You're if you're in NCAA and one of this drops, you're not performing at that level, you lose
Lose
scholarship,
scholarship.
and you have to maintain a certain level of academics also. In India, that is not the case. So many of them get into the scholarship thing and then they stop competing at the national level. They do some college meets and that's
Hmm.
about it. So it is not just this happens in volleyball, this happens in basketball, this happens in football. So it's just part of our culture which has to change. With maybe the Khelo India games and all that will make those changes. I don't know. Let's hope.
Huh. Okay, fair enough. So, but like I said, right? Sporting culture overall has to kick in, right? Will a
Yeah,
person be cancelled if they say constant? No, Real Sociedad also. I've spoken with the pod. Real Sociedad's boys can't don't get into the academy till they're 12, right? They play
yeah,
six
yeah.
sports. They play
In
six at
Barcelona,
school.
Espanyol also, I
Huh.
think
They play
that
six
side.
six sports at school before that. Will a person be cancelled? Say constant team is much better than this. They're probably much more defensively solid than this, but
You- But
we
Naveen
quickly
has always been this Constantine Jeho guy. So I'm not taking it seriously anymore now.
thoda or effort,
And
shorter
wait,
videos, maybe.
one second. If you want to talk about this, get on the pod and talk
It
about
was a
it.
pod. Thoda or effort, shorter videos, maybe. But please send in suggestions, guys, about what to do. It's about family and culture, yeah, for sure. Good
Yeah,
compared to what we had 10 years ago, perhaps. Uh, Poor first half. Not a single individual mistake from Uzbekistan. That's not true. If there was no individual mistakes, then all of the attacks would have resulted in goals, right? So that's obviously not true. But
no,
I
from
get
Uzbekistan, he's saying.
yeah, exactly. If there was no mistake from Uzbekistan, then all of their attacks would have resulted in goals. I'm saying that's
Oh,
the
you're
point.
not talking defensively. Okay.
Ha.
But
But
front, it's more creative. No, they
Think
don't.
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. The defensively very
They
compact.
were
Poor
fair, but
first
we
half.
didn't really do
Yeah,
ask
very
too many
poor.
questions also.
Huh. We have people like Arsene Wenger, sleeping giant. Guys, I'm very shocked by Arsene Wenger's comment. He's somebody I really looked forward to. I really looked up to. And his comments on starting an academy and you can make the switch in 4 years and all of
He's
that.
working for FIFA now.
Yeah, he has to tell those things, right?
I mean, come
Has
on,
to.
man. That
Yeah.
fellow, I mean, whatever professor, whatever, he's the one who said too many games, and now he's only increasing the Club World Cup and all that stuff.
Huh.
So,
In my school where I first played football 15 to 18, everyone, just take it. And this is
this is
exactly my
this.
memory of school football also.
But we quickly, after high school, it changed. In
I've not seen any three or
modern,
4 year old playing football in a Rajasthan. Yeah, 100%.
probably would
But
have
if
played.
you and imagine there is a huge zinc football academy there. I guess
Hmm.
there's not enough zinc there, right? Why are ISL clubs so ignorant to consider residential academy? Kumar Reddy is a huge outlay, huge expenditure, like such a money drain that is I can't tell you that.
Right? Because they also don't have a long-term vision. They don't know what happens in 10 years. There is that fear also always.
I'll I
So,
okay. I
because
was
you have to
slightly
pay a lot of money, right, to get
Yeah, I
the
see.
whole
I
thing.
have a slightly different take on residential academy, right? If you have a residential academy and you're selecting like 20 gun players for it, I'm using a, a Bangalore slash Chennai word, a gun player for it. Um, you need to have a base of 20 cube, which is 4,000 good players from which these 20 will compete and come through, right? I'm saying the residential academy is the last part of the development process. There are
Yeah,
multiple steps before that that should be
I think
done.
academy before say 15 and all is not needed. Just allow them to play. Whatever
12,
money you're
13,
investing,
huh,
put it into the ecosystem, allow as
13,
many kids to play as possible.
chalo 13, 13, 12,
Huh,
12,
whatever.
13 is 12, 13 is a European standard. It's a
Yeah,
global
yeah.
standard,
Fair
right?
enough. Yeah, 13 is
Huh,
fine. Till
huh.
then, give money to conduct all the local
and
tournaments.
and and and, and just so that everybody knows, even when I went,
FC
even
Goa
when
is doing it.
FC was doing it, yeah. Even when we visit, and we were lucky as journalists to visit the Uniteds, the Chelseas, the Dortmunds. When you go to
I went
these
to
clubs also,
Aspire also.
when we went
Yeah.
to these clubs also, the best 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds are commuting from home.
Yeah.
They're coming, they're playing for hardly 6 hours a week, like, or 5 hours a week is their engagement with the game, and that's it. They're not in a It's not like a Chinese dungeon where they're sitting there, they're studying for the exam. They're not doing that, right? So the residential academy, please, if anybody's here even thinking about has money, or is even thinking of whiling away money, wasting money on it, please do not. There are a lot of things you could do with that money, right? Sandeep, am I wrong if I say the best players from Kerala end up in departmental teams?
Not so much anymore because there
Or
are
they
not
end up in
many
East Bengal
departmental
reserves?
jobs. Yeah, there are not many jobs also, right? Those people who were promised the jobs are in their 30s now and retired, and they still the jobs still have not come.
I
So
feel like I made a brilliant joke and you did not
I didn't hear what
acknowledge.
you said.
Or they end up in East Bengal reserves. I'm saying.
Yeah, but generally speaking, there are not many jobs, and we used to have clubs like KTC, Premier Tires, and then all of them used to hire people. All that has died down. So yeah, best players not anymore. A lot of the players continue to just play in the local levels and just live there because
Huh.
the opportunities are limited. How many 11-a-side games are there?
No.
And in Kerala Premier League is what less than 20 games,
Mm,
and or let's say 20 games. But that's just not enough, right? After that, what do?
mm,
And you bring players from outside for that also. The whole promise of this great Super League has been extremely quiet of late.
mm.
We are having Super League got exemption from AIFF to have foreign players, and then nothing has happened. Not a single club has been taken over, as far as I know, franchise, because first of all, it's a ridiculous expenditure at that
Huh.
level. My God.
Huh. They were asking for way too much money.
I know two or three people who are businessmen in Kerala who were approached about this. They thought about it, and then the math just did not make sense to them.
Hmm. No, also, I should also say, because I've spoken to someone who was very close to Pride, and they said ki we're expecting people from Malappuram to bid and all, but those bids never came in. Like those crazy
It's
bids.
just not possible. That
Yeah,
money,
like they're asking for 2 CR for 1 CR for like
not possible. And then you have
state
to
level
pay for your
pitch.
stadium. You have to pay for your player. You have to do this, do that. No, it's not possible.
So main media has no interest in football and cricket. How do you expect other sports development? Have you shown any ad of AFC Asian Cup in many? Listen, the media and as media people, we take offense to that because we've covered football as our number one sport for more than a decade, guys. Like and religiously, not the sorts to go and say ki Chhetri should go play in USA, Komal Tattal should go play in Galatasaray United. We not that sorts. How many media people have played football? How many media people have football culture? Us. And the media is only a small part of this culture. Anyway, Sandeep, like if I go on this tangent, I think I might end up saying
No, I
something.
agree. I mean, one thing is obviously there is a demand for cricket which is more. So there is always going to be more coverage of cricket. That is just how the world is going to be. But then we've all done, like I've traveled and covered swimming nationals. We've gone for national athletics, we go and cover. Whatever is there, we try to do as much as possible. But then there is also that eventually cricket is what get read the most, and I will never criticize cricket for that because I
Huh.
think they did a good job in marketing and making cricket such an influential part of our society. So kudos
Yeah.
to them. We can maybe take a leaf from their book and learn.
No, for
That's
sure.
that's it.
For sure. For sure, right?
No, but if you look at badminton, badminton gets huge coverage now because we are doing really well.
Because we win, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm saying that is the hypocrisy and that is the fickleness of the media. I 100% agree with you.
But
Badminton
no, we
in
all covered. No, how many badminton tournaments I've
listen,
covered? I
and
covered under 13 badminton tournaments.
we covered badminton in an era where how many people used to cover badminton?
All four newspapers from Bangalore goes to go.
Okay, so like in general, the scene in Bombay and Delhi, because I've covered sports there also, is
Hmm.
that it only started, and now there are badminton experts. I mean, I can't really believe it, but like I said,
There are one
Indian
or two who are legit expert.
there are one or two
Suhas
legit
Naise
experts.
is one,
Huh?
and there's one Suhas Naise is one, and
Huh.
there is one more in Hyderabad for Times of
There's
India. I
Abhijit
forget his name.
Kulkarni who
Ratnakar,
used to
Mane
cover.
Ratnakar, I think his name is. They are both
Yeah.
excellent
Huh.
badminton journalists who have done this for long time.
Huh. There's Shlok Ramachandran also, who's a player who's also writing now for a
Hmm.
couple of these things. So, but like I said, Indian badminton a good example where coverage only came when we started winning. Before, before Sina really broke that Chinese wall.
Yeah,
And 11,
2004, 2004, right?
4? No, 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 no.
Yeah, or
Much later.
2008. 2004 or 2008.
Much later.
No, 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 no.
before
It has to
before
be
she before she won our
2012 was London, right?
remember 2012 was London. Remember Sina won our first.
She won a bronze medal
Yes, yes, yes.
in the
We won't
Olympics.
digress to badminton, but like I said, when she won our first badminton medal in 2012 Olympics, mein, the a wave of, see, look, we are hypocrites, right? As Indians, we are glory seekers, and I have a I have a school
That
group.
is unfair, right? You win an
Look, look,
Olympic
look,
gold
look,
medal, you give them glory that they deserve.
huh. Look, I have a school group which follows a lot of European football. This year, I begged them. I literally said, start following Indian football, right? And they started following, and we did well in the SAF and the Intercontinental Cup, and they, uh, they had chats between themselves, and they were like, yes, let's preview, let's do this, because they also run like podcasts for fun, like not like us, not a serious level, but now, like after during the halftime Uzbekistan match, most of them they switched off. Why? Is the team still not playing? The team's still out there, right?
But I won't blame them. There are times when
No,
people
nobody's
they just
blaming them. Nobody's blaming them. But listen, you've been to enough countries to see what the culture is when the team's losing also, right?
yeah.
I'll talk to you about my Schalke experience, and obviously Schalke is
But
not a
do you
very
see
big
people
experience.
leaving Manchester United Stadium early because they're just tired of
That
losing?
Those are United fans, right?
Yeah.
Schalke, I've been to.
Not just United. It happens in Chelsea. It happens in Arsenal. It happened everywhere. So
That's what I'm saying. I watched Schalke
yes.
home games thrice. Um, the maximum noise, the heaviest crowd was when they were in the second division. Explain
Yeah,
that. Explain that.
the whole
So
city wants Salka to move up. That
exactly,
area has only them and Dortmund,
and
with
and and,
big
and
teams.
if anybody's watched Sunderland till it, the guy in the trailer says, "This is the team that keeps people from crying in church. This is the team that." That's what football's supposed to mean. Supposed to be the
But
undercurrent.
for us, cricket means that for us, the national team.
Huh? It is.
Yeah.
It is because I had friends, dads who wouldn't eat if India lost. Right? That's
Have you
nuts.
seen Serbian basketball? Oh my God, that crowd is crazy, man.
Huh.
Unbelievable.
Serbia, like I said, Serbian basketball has a very nice ESPN 3430 documentary called The Two Brothers,
Hmm.
Vlade Divac and another who was coming up with him but tragically passed away. But like I said, we have to build on culture. Like as long as we don't have culture, like we're gonna struggle, right? Right. We'll wrap up in about probably 5 minutes. So will ISL team realize so AFL will not have goal scorers? Yeah, AFF, like we don't have goal scorers. Indian
But
football's
before also, who did we have? We had Sunil, we had Bhutia,
JJ
Vijay.
JJ
Oh, JJ was there, yes.
JJ, dude,
Maybe NP Pradeep for a brief while.
please.
He scored the winner in Nehru Cup, man.
Challenge,
Never forget.
challenge, challenge cup.
Yeah, so and Nehru Cup also. I think he scored the final in the final
So
against
look,
Syria.
huh? But the thing is, Indian football's top scorer last year, right? Moved from a third division club where he was killing it. Immediately he jumped to ISL because the money came in, right? The money came in, jumped to ISL, is on the bench.
He's playing more and more now, which I think is good, but not as a number nine. I think he's slightly on the flanks now.
Okay. When
But he
when
told me that he wanted to play as a number nine last year, and I did an interview
correct.
with him.
So I'm saying when it's time for Sunil to hang up his boots, right? So you eventually realize this means that we will be shunting a guy who normally plays as a winger for his club into a number nine role. You understand that that's what we have to do, right?
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
sad part. I mean, JJ is the only striker,
JJ is
Indian
the
striker
only
who
guy.
held his position in ISL.
He's the only Indian striker ever who cemented his position,
And
right?
at a time when there were more foreigners.
Exactly. And we don't give that man enough respect for what he did. Like he was
He
a
was fantastic.
crazy he was an amazing player. He was a
What he did for Mohan Bagan, what he did for Chennai, and
Chennai.
fantastic.
Listen, Chennai won 2 titles under that guy
And
with that
Mohan
team.
Bagan also won, no? He was there at
With
the time.
of the 6 years he played in the ISL, Chennai won 2 titles with him as the main striker. Imagine the only team in the league to play an Indian striker, and they're winning the league. So yeah, it's not like there isn't talent, right? But both Lalrinzuala from Aizol and David from Mohammedan will move. They'll move for big money. Because the agents are already on it. They'll move. But
I hope not in the January window. Let them finish the year.
but at what cost? But at what cost?
Yeah, let
Even
them.
if they
I
finish
don't
the
know,
year,
man. It just feels finish your season, finish as many goals, get as much confidence as possible.
there are already links. There are already
Yeah, yeah,
links.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
There are already links of Lalrinzuala in this window. Apparently, East Bengal.
And the
What else?
sad thing is, Aizol has to sell because they need the money.
Aizol
They
needs
will
to.
find somebody else, but they will sell.
Yeah. The beauty of Mizoram is they'll always find something.
Yeah, they'll find somebody else.
This is what happens when you paint the rotten fruits instead of fertilizing the roots. Indian football is an absolute clown show. I mean, apart from that last bit of it, because like I said, I mean, I might be a critic of India, and so is Sandeep, but we'll always love Indian football to its death, right? Because I imagine even when we are 50, we'll be coming on this podcast, we'll be talking about what's happening in Indian football because that's how much we'll love it.
Yeah.
But yes, when you paint the rotten fruits, fertilizer, exactly. Essentially, Indian football's always looking to buff up the top layer, the patio, the penthouse, right? The terrace.
Yeah,
Indian
fantastic.
football's always ignoring the basement. Always, right? The basement is crumbling. Nobody's looking at it. Right? Nobody gives a shit. But we are always looking at how can we add more gloss. They say cherry on top of the cake. We love the cherry, but we hate making the cake. Right? So the money in sevens and Cape tournaments huge. Why aren't we we should ideally it should all be part of one structure, but these people would like to keep it aside because there's a lot of betting and there's a lot of illicit gambling that happens. So I don't think these people want to come into the structure, the sevens and the Cape guys.
But Sevens is a world of its own.
Hmm.
Like it's a different world. It's run very differently, and also a lot of players who play there. A lot of them don't really have the ambition to go beyond that level. Like Ashik played sevens, Sahal played sevens, Rafi played sevens. All of these guys played sevens and moved up. Reno, for example, didn't play much sevens because he went to TFA very early.
Hmm.
So some people who want to move up, some people don't have a life situation in their life where they can move up. Because this money that they make from Cape or sevens is very important to their family. And to
Hmm.
go for less money and struggle for 2 3 years in the hope of making it is not
Hmm.
an option for some of them. So it's very different scenarios you find there. I really enjoy Cape, and I love the fact that such things exist because though that is where I think football lives in India more than any other place in these kind of local tournaments.
Hmm. FC Goa trying grassroots. They're trying to do something that they're trying a lot, but one FC Goa alone can't do everything.
Yeah, and FC Goa, to be fair to them, they're doing a lot, but they
Huh.
also have a ecosystem where there is a ready-made situation where they can enter, which is great for them, and they are trying to make take
but
an advantage of
but
it.
but the ecosystem is slowly disappearing. the thing
That is
with
also
culture the thing with culture and ecosystem is that and
it has to
the
be
the,
nurtured.
the FC Goa, exactly, nurture, it has to be even to keep it at the same level. Goa an example of a fallen powerhouse. Goa these
We
days.
discussed about this, right? Last good
Yeah,
player from Goa is Brandon.
listen.
Let Liston do 2 seasons in a row, and then we'll see. He has the
Okay,
X factor, but
take it.
let's
Brandon.
keep him aside at the moment.
Brandon.
Brandon,
Brandon.
Liston, Yasir, maybe if they do something, we
Gas
can say.
is not from Goa.
Sorry. Listen, if they can do something, we'll say. But Brandon is what, in his 30s now?
Irfan Yadwaj, by the way, started off
Yeah, but
at,
again, let's
in
see.
Goa.
He's
Huh.
from South Goa.
No, I'm just saying he started
Yeah.
off in Goa, right? Uh, let's see. Lol, Indian football seethed a lot against cricket. BC are doing some big conspiracy. That's bullshit. Football's dug its own grave,
Yeah.
right? Uh, don't get me started, Capel. This time, not even a single game was streamed. Exactly, exactly. These are the guys saying, "Let's bring in Argentina and let's host them." They can't stream a KPL game, not the KWL game. You know, okay. Indian
Ashik
athletics
Usman, yes,
is.
Ashik Usman. I spoke to him last year.
Uh,
He was in Gokulam for a while. No?
hmm.
Yeah, but he's still playing. I think he's playing for Black and White at
Huh.
the moment.
Huh. In athletics, I know. Yes, now everybody's so many athletics expert. See what happens when we start winning. So anyway, you guys were great to visual. Yes. Thank you. Keep watching. Right, we'll take the last few comments. Just continue. Vietnam local players in Vietnam are paid less than our allows. Yes, they are paid less, but they also have. Vietnam has crazy football culture. So I went there. I don't know if Sandeep's gone there.
I have not done.
At their best, at their most finest or most important memorial, right? The Hue princely, the Hue Palace, which is their ancient, the seat of their ancient kingdom palace, right? The culture. I'm giving an example. There is a huge grass, right? Here, what will happen if you go and play near the Taj Mahal? You know what will happen. Some uncle say Taj Mahal hai, mat khelo. There are 7 games going on the Hue Palace grass at the same time. They're going on, right? Different age group, different. We talk about culture, right? Culture rears its head in a lot of ways. It shows its face in a lot of ways, right? So I had hopes on Joby Justin, but he faded away. It was just a purple patch,
Yeah,
yes. Anwar Ali, Jeekson Singh, Ashik Sahal, Changte Amrinder.
can't blame ISL for this.
It's not ISL. You know where it's happened? It's very funny. It's happened in the
Also,
NT.
ISL does not have enough games and intensity for all of this to happen one after the other.
Huh. Just a video suggestion. Could you do small video 5-10 minutes weekly? Yes, we
Oh,
are.
five,
We
ten
are
minutes. Okay, okay. I was thinking 510 minutes.
not 510 minutes. That's 8.5 hours, Sandeep. Right? Why is Indian market so inflated? Simple. Because of 3-4 clubs started it. Now, in order to
Yeah,
compete, we don't want to be left behind. So everybody wants to be there. Ashik Usman, it
we
was
spoke about him. Yeah,
wonderful joining you guys. Everyone take care. Yes. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Like I said, right? This was great. This is almost another 3 hours. We do this out of our own time, guys. So the least you can do is get your friends to sign up, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us reach 2,000. Right? We aren't. We don't put any money into it. It's all organic, right? Unlike almost everybody else. So yes, love you guys. Take care, and that's it from us. Bye bye.